It went down. What up, everybody on IG Live? What up, y'all? It's Michael Shawn, and I know you want to be a podcaster. You want a successful podcast. You want to give your views and opinions, but you just don't know how to do it correctly. That's why you got to hit up ShawnyScott.com. You want to be on radio, and you want to know how to build your radio career. ShawnyScott.com. She's done all of this. I've worked alongside her for years, and I will tell you the information that she can give you is on a value level that I can't even put a price on it. All you have to do is go to ShawnyScott.com. Your future, right now. That's it. Michael Shawn. Yeah.
Michael Shawn and the Takeover legend, where truth hurts, but also makes you laugh.
Baby, tap in. Tap in.
Don't never stop if you want to be on top. Yeah.
Low waist, fat, baby, tap in.
Oh, I'm gonna tap in for sure.
Tap in.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, hold on. Let me turn my TV down because I like watching me on TV. That's just my ego. All right, y'all. Welcome. Good morning. Normally it's a sluggish Monday, but damn it, there was a smack that was heard around the world last night. So let's get to Jay Black. How was your night? Good. Hey, Mo, how was your night, Mo? Good. Okay. Everybody turn their phones down real quick. Everybody check 1, check 2, check. Shawnee, how was your night? Good. All right. So last night the Oscars popped off.
Damn, he jumped right in. Head first.
We don't
first. We
no
behind.
condom on. No condom on. That was just all raw.
Sometimes.
I'm not pulling out. We behind. The whole world has already jumped on it. Australia been talking about it for the last 24 hours, damn it. We way behind. So last night the Oscars pop off. I don't even know that Will Packer is the producer of the Oscars. I don't even know because I'm sitting there and I should have been like, duh. When I saw D Nice, the Oscars had a DJ. I was like, oh, the Oscars have a DJ?
Yeah.
I said, I don't know if I like it.
Never had one before?
No, they ain't never had one.
MC Light did it before. Maybe
First of all, MC Light has never been the voice on the Oscars. She does the BET Awards.
BET Awards.
She ain't never done
She did the White People Awards before.
She's never done the White People Awards ever in life. She might have done the Soul Train Awards. Maybe. She might have done the voiceover for TV One. Maybe.
Not the TV One.
She ain't never touched no Oscars, Grammys, none of that. Good morning, everybody. Dan, the Philly Smackdown got all the squares here. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm trying to get all the squares on my IG Live too before we talk about the coward.
Let me.
Well, you know Shawnee's coming in the club. It's that Jay Black you got to worry about.
Yeah, we got to get Shawnee in the club. We got to get to the coward.
Wait, who did I miss? Wait, Sean Robinson, Mark, what up, Queen Born, Afro Queen, Ashley Newman, Tam. All right,
yo, Tam. Hey, everybody, good morning. All right, so the Oscars pop off. I'm only watching it because it was already a known fact that Will Smith was going to win Actor of the Year. It was already a known fact. Everybody knew it. You could tell by the way it was set up. All the critics were like, it's propaganda. They know. Hollywood knows who's about to take it. Like it's so predictable. So I'm watching it. Beyonce opens the show. I'm thinking Beyonce is going to open the show on stage. No, she opens the show in Compton at the actual tennis courts where Venus and Serena actually trained in the movie and in real life, where in real life, Richard almost got killed. He got beat up a few times, almost got killed by gangsters over there for using the tennis court to play tennis. Oh, how about that shit? Using the tennis court to play tennis.
I thought that was dope.
The nerve of them.
The nerve of them to play tennis on the tennis court. We're trying to move the crack. We're trying to snowfall out this bitch. So I'm watching it. Me and Monty and Akela, they coming later. We're watching this. So all I'm doing is sitting there waiting. So I watch Amy Schumer Wanda Sykes, Regina
Yeah.
Hall. They do their opening monologue and they struggle.
That was funny. That monologue opening was good. I giggled and laughed.
When all three of them were together, they
Don't
struggled.
you ever say you giggled again, okay?
When they said they did the lamest Samuel L. Jackson joke. It was so whack.
That one was whack. The
so
was whack.
You could tell that the host that they really wanted to host was Amy Schumer, because she comes back out right afterwards
and did her own separate monologue.
She does her separate monologue. Basically, they were trying to do this woman empowerment thing, which I'm all for, but I hate when you just throw it together. I hate when you just throw it all together. Like, if the white woman's dope, let her rock. And she rocked. She came back out, did her monologue, and she killed it. She's funny.
Yeah.
What else happened before we get to the smack that was heard around the world? What else? After that, my Latinos got up there and they were singing and dancing. They won for Encanted animation. It was big movies.
Was that the one with Megan Thee Stallion performed with him?
My daughter was so pissed. She was like, why is she going in this song? She said she's not even on the song.
She's not on the song. Yeah.
She said, why would they put Megan? My Akela was pissed.
Yeah.
She was like, they just sang the hook. Then when he had two people that were on there, all these other people weren't even on the song. She said, why is Megan Thee Stallion? She's on the phone with her friend. She's ruining the song. I'm like, well, that's what Megan does.
Yeah.
So
they throw those artists, those big name artists on there too. Like the same thing with throwing comedians together and it didn't really mesh. It didn't really resonate. It's the same thing.
And then my other Latinx, that's the new Latinx. It's not Latina, Latino, it's Latinx. She wins for West Side Story. I'm like, rah, I'm like, good for you, girl. She wins supporting actress for West Side Story.
Deaf individuals won.
The deaf individuals won. I thought it was dope that the lady up there who actually gave him the award signed to him that he won before she actually announced it. Instead of everybody clapping, you shake your hands like that. I thought that was nice. I thought that was pretty amazing that a dude could actually win an Oscar for a movie like that, which I want to check that movie out. All right. So that all happens.
Kodak Black, something like that, right? Something like that.
It gets then the lengthiness of the thing starts going, and then now I'm just sitting there going, I'm just trying to hang in there. I've already taken my sleep meds. It takes a minute.
You trying to hang in there to see if Will want to win.
I've already taken my sleep meds. I'm comfortable on the couch. It takes a minute for the sleep meds to kick in. Good morning, Stacy. So I'm like, all right, I have about 30 minutes for this to happen. So before they go to commercial, they show Chris Rock in the back, and he has the envelope. So I'm like, oh, Chris is about to actually present. So I perk up. I said, because I want to hear what Chris is gonna riff about. I'm like, okay. So the commercials, Akela's right there. She walks off because she's on the phone, still complaining about Megan Thee Stallion. Still complaining about Megan Thee Stallion.
Why was Megan?
Still Megan Thee Stallion.
She was on there.
She ain't
Hispanic.
Yeah, no, she's like, yeah, she's not Hispanic, but she's really
like nothing to do with this song.
She's not even on the song. Nobody wanted to hear that. I don't even know. She wrote this rap about so. Commercials over. Pop up. Chris comes out. Chris is on tour. For those who know, Chris is on his own tour. And Kevin Hart and Chris Rock are going on tour together, which is going to be an historical tour when Kevin Hart and Chris Rock go out. So I'm like, I know Chris Rock is on tour now doing his own thing, so I know he's sharp. I said, so he's going to come out there. Let's see who's going to go for it. He goes out there, starts all friendly. Y'all know what happens next. He makes a whack joke about G.I. Jane 2. Not even a good joke. Something that when he said it, I just kept it moving. Hey, Mike, have you ever thought about slapping Jay back like that sometimes? Especially when he's been in denial about certain things.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
And I hear all the jokes going.
Wait.
So the G.I. Jane joke goes, and he goes, come on, y'all, that was light. I said, yeah, that was not only was it light, but that was just a corny ass joke, like G.I. Jane. But Chris throws one or two of those in the middle when he's doing his thing sometimes. He'll throw a little lame one, and then I'm like, all right, let's get it popping. Then I see Will walking up. I'm like, what? I'm thinking, okay, what they gonna hug? He gonna act like he met? And then obviously, Will cocks back, but doesn't cock back. Will does a smack, but it's almost like kind of the way he set it up was like a punch. He didn't wave like this. If you watch the video, he's like, pat. And I just stopped.
It's kind of like one of those sun smacks. Like,
So you just stopped. Now
stopped.
You said, wait, did I just see what I thought I saw? That's what you thought
I
saying?
said, he didn't.
That was real.
And when I saw Chris stop and go like, wow. I said, this motherfucker done smacked Chris Rock
on the Oscars.
Dog, I yelled in my house, Stacey! Stacey! Chris Rock just got smacked by Will Smith on stage. Stacey comes stomping like there's a fire in the house. She's like, what? I said, Will just smacked Chris Rock. Dog. The explosion. And I said, I swear the whole entertainment world just paused. And I was like, and then the interaction, it only took a few more minutes before we heard the actual interaction because they mute everything. They dumped. Now, the funny thing about the Oscars is they dumped, but they didn't go to commercials because they knew they had gold. They knew they had gold. They just couldn't get in trouble with the FCC. But they knew what they had just witnessed is something that had never been seen before, ever in life, in the history of entertainment. It had never. This was Jerry Springer live on the Oscars
on the biggest stage.
This was some hood shit. What kind of hood? Because hood dudes don't really be smacking people, but it was some hoodness. It was some. So I'm sitting there, and now I call Jay Black. Jay Black calls me. Lady Q says they couldn't dump it in Australia. Oh, and I'm sitting there going like, "Man, that would be dope if we could see the Australia footage." 10 seconds later, Australia.
I think we have that. I think we can go right there on that page. Australia.
Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me. Wow, dude. Yeah. It was a G.I. Jane joke. Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth. I'm going to, okay?
Okay. Wait, stop. You see that part right there where Chris says, "Oh, I could go." He knew what he could do to Will Smith right there.
Oh, he said, "I can go." I didn't even catch that.
He said, "Oh, I could go." Why didn't you, Chris? Why did you take the higher road?
Will's voice is why he didn't.
No, Will wasn't coming back on stage.
That Will heard that bass, that's that octave he went up that second time.
Will was not coming back on stage. He was not coming back on stage. Why did you take the high road?
Yes, word 789. He was a habitual line crosser, Chris Rock. He crossed.
He did not cross the line with a G.I. Jane joke. Stop, y'all.
Keep going.
Stop.
No, let Mike keep going so he can get all this out, and then we can break it down because Mike
I
Mike is
understand
flawed
why.
in several places.
Ain't nobody flawed. Will Smith is not mad at Chris Rock. Will Smith did not smack Chris Rock for that G.I. Jane joke. You smacked him because Jada played the shit out of you at that red table. You played him. You smacked him because you ain't smacked August Alsina. You smacked him because every year when Tupac's anniversary comes, Jada's writing poetry and love letters to Tupac. You didn't smack Chris Rock because you was mad at that joke.
He couldn't believe the slap was real, but the reaction was raw. That bass in his voice.
Oh, nobody care about no bass. You at the Oscars. We not in the streets. You tough at the Oscars in front of the white folks. You really tough at the Oscars in front of your white boys. Why did you not smack August Alsina after he made the diss song about your wife? Why did you not go seek him out? Why would you smack a comedian? Do you realize you get no points for smacking Chris Rock? And you know what I like about cowards? They do things like that when they know there's not going to be any payback.
Coward though, Mike. Are you taking
a coward? Because you know what?
Coward?
Because you know what? If the same person, if a guy like The Rock was saying the same joke, he wouldn't have got his ass up. I love when people think they snap. You know what's funny about people who claim they snap? They never snap on somebody 6'5", 250 pounds. They never do that. You're a coward because you're not mad at Chris Rock. You're mad at the way everybody, and you know how you played yourself? Because when you went up there and you said that nonsense speech, you started saying how people just got to say things about, and you're supposed to just take it. And you're not talking about Chris Rock. You're talking about the whole grand scheme
of protecting your family. What he spoke about was protecting his family.
Don't bring up. See, you're so fucking calculated, and everybody loves you so much they let you get away with the bullshit. You ruined the night for your personal reasons. You ruined the night for Venus and Serena, who made a movie about their father. You ruined the night because Jada had an attitude about a joke. She's a public figure. She's not an innocent bystander. When you are a public figure at the Oscars,
he acknowledged that.
When you are a public figure,
you're supposed to take it.
You have to take it. Nobody
but enough's enough for every man.
First of all, there's not enough. Nobody. You know how many people are catching it in that audience? When do you get off deciding that the Oscars
you just snap? It's a build-up, but that can happen. I can see that.
Once again, you don't get to decide at the Oscars that you're going to ruin it for all the people who made the movie.
He didn't plan for that. It was a reaction.
No,
you see your wife pissed.
What that
is a reaction sometimes.
Once again, he would only do it to a comedian who's Chris Rock. You know who he wouldn't do it to? To somebody who had. You know who he wouldn't do it to? Somebody who had power in Hollywood. Somebody who had ultimate power in Hollywood, he wouldn't have done that shit to.
And maybe they wouldn't have talked about her alopecia. Maybe they wouldn't have clowned her in years past.
You guys are gonna make an excuse.
It's a build-up.
You're gonna
make it's a build-up.
And that's my point. The build-up had nothing to do with Chris Rock.
Yeah, maybe misdirected.
It had nothing to do with, and you picked Chris Rock.
But we don't pick when we snap. We snap.
You do.
That's why
you actually do pick because
he didn't plan for that.
No, you do pick who you snap on. You do pick who you snap on because you know who not to play with. You know exactly who not to play with. You know exactly who not to play with. And you knew Chris Rock was an easy target for you to play tough. You knew it was an easy target to play tough.
So, but the fact that he protected his wife, that doesn't mean nothing.
No, it means nothing because his wife sat on the red table and said she fucked the R&B singer. So once you open that up, once you open that can of worms up, you no longer get any, oh, I feel bad for you. Y'all put your business out in the world. And now y'all mad because people talking crazy? Now y'all got the audacity to get mad because the whole world is talking crazy?
So you don't feel, if somebody multiple times talked about your wife, and then like in this moment, that same person said something again about her, you don't understand at all how that you can snap?
No, that had nothing to do with Chris Rock. That had everything to do with you being pissed at the world.
I can see Jada behind the scenes upset from the previous comment. I can see Jada behind the scenes venting to her spouse about things that Chris may have. Like, it's
then don't be a celebrity. Then don't be a fucking. When did the Smiths think that they are held to a higher standard than everybody else?
But they don't say anything about anybody. I mean, they live their life and they do stuff and they put their business out there and they're vulnerable. They're transparent to the public, but they don't drag people. And that wasn't Chris's first time getting up on that stage doing that to Jada.
And Jada has been very, very transparent about the things that she's gone through with her hair journey and the alopecia and stuff like that. And for those who do suffer from that, I
suffer from it. I have it.
So let me speak from a woman's perspective, and especially a Black woman's perspective. Generation after generation, Black women are taught that their hair is their crown. So yes, that to have something like alopecia, a man could shave their hair off bald and nobody says anything of the wiser. A man could have patches in his hair and cut around it and do a design, nobody says anything of the wiser. But something like something like alopecia or any other hair degeneration or anything like that, that is a big deal for a woman.
Gives Will the right to get up
on
stage.
What I'm saying is I'm trying to explain the context for people who think for a long time that she just shaved her hair all off because that's what she wanted to do. And I'll take it a step back. If you remember, everybody was like, what the hell is Jada going through? Because she cut off all her hair. She's in a rock band. She crazy. Something going on with her. I don't know if y'all remember that years and years ago. No, what I'm saying is years and years ago, this is where it started. And so
we can stay on the point.
And Regina Hall cracked a joke earlier, and it was a more disrespectful joke than alopecia. And yes,
the video is in there.
Oh, you already got this? Okay.
Yeah, they're all in there.
And that monologue was about Jada.
Yes, Jada does have a health issue. Mm-hmm.
And Regina Hall cracked a joke earlier where she brought single men to the stage. She said, when I call your name, because she was bragging about being single, come up. Bradley Cooper, Tyler Perry. Oh, no, you can't come up because you're married, this white dude. And then she said, Will Smith, you can't. Oh, yeah, but Jada said it's okay. Oh, so now we joking about them being swingers. Oh,
but that was in the beginning, and that's the part. It's like you're not getting that there can be a buildup. It can be okay. I'm sitting here, I'm taking this, I'm dealing with this, and then
you ain't gonna keep
Chris get up here and do this, and it's like, you know what? Fuck y'all. Let me make an example of this one person. Leave us alone. Stop doing that.
Especially when you see your wife. When you see your wife is in pain.
Look, his wife told him to his face in front of cameras that she had sex with another person.
You a sucker if you let some a grown man.
You know what's a sucker? Hold on, Jay Black. You know what a sucker is?
Your wife or your spouse. A
sucker is sitting in front of your wife in front of cameras while she tells you she got banged out by an R&B singer.
And so in that scenario,
but why is he a sucker?
Wait.
So and everybody keeps saying that. Well, he didn't do nothing to August Alsina. Y'all don't know what you don't know what happened between him and August Alsina.
He got up and smacked Chris Rock for a joke.
I said I understand it. I clearly understand it.
Oh
I understand how it could happen.
And here's a previous little clip from the.
I don't think it's about being right or wrong.
This is embarrassing. It is wrong.
Jada went mad and Will went mad. Everybody went mad. You know, it's crazy. Like Jada got mad. Jada says she's not coming, protesting. I'm like, is she on a TV show? Jada's gonna boycott the Oscars. Jada boycotting the Oscars is like me boycotting Rihanna's panties. I wasn't invited.
You're not gonna keep talking about my wife.
What is wrong with that? Wait a second. This is what kills me. Y'all want to be famous. Y'all want to be famous, right? But y'all want to have these specific rules now. Don't pick on me too much. Do you know how many celebrities then should get up and smack people? Y'all really gonna pick? These are the same people who laughed at Michael Jackson jokes for 15 years. The same people. You want to talk about somebody who should have smacked somebody? Y'all low-key are making an excuse for Will Smith embarrassing black people, first of all, in a white environment.
He didn't embarrass me.
Well, he embarrassed everybody else. Because I know Denzel was sitting there like, what the fuck did you just do, dog?
And Tyler Perry pulled him aside. They showed that the Europe clips.
These people, these people,
emotions are real.
All these people who worked on your movie, all these people who put blood, sweat, and tears. Serena and Venus had to executive produce this. They had to get it through Hollywood. They had to get the budgets. They had to make and to top it off, y'all, the movie flopped at the box office. The movie flopped. Which means
did it go to the box office? It went straight to Netflix, right?
No, it went to the box office.
I didn't see it.
I didn't see it in the movie theater. I saw it on.
That's when they were releasing them in both spots. They were releasing them at the box office, and they were releasing them, and they would stream them. But this is my point. The thing is, winning this Oscar was supposed to make everybody go see the movie. Don't nobody know nobody cared Will won an Oscar last night because he took it upon himself to take his selfish needs and smack Chris Rock.
But it's like Denzel said, like Denzel told him, once you get to the top, that's when the devil shows up. And that's what happened. Now, am I mad at Will Smith for going up there, smacking her in the mouth? No.
You can't keep ishing on somebody. Why he a habitual line crosser? Y'all say that about certain You have to, when you talk trash, you have to expect it.
It wasn't trash.
I think the one.
You know what this is? If anybody hosts the Oscars and jokes about somebody in the audience, you are now saying if they feel it's taking it too far, they can walk to the stage and smack the host.
So I'll say this:
the whole thing, so we can see her facial expression.
I saw her. You can play it, but I saw I already saw when she put the battery in his back. Because Will was laughing 2 seconds.
Because Stacey would have put the battery in your back, you would have did something too.
No.
You're not gonna let somebody. No. What you say?
So can I say this? Can I say this? It's not about the red table talk, because what I'm saying is you said something about the red table talk. Yes, it happened. Yes, they put it out there. But when you talk about an illness that somebody has no control over, that to me is crossing the line. That to me is
even know Chris Rock knows that.
Everyone knows that. She's talked about. She has openly discussed it. She's openly shared that. So that's just like somebody laughing at your family for certain things that y'all do, but then go back and say, "Oh, but look, your husband got cancer." Say something about him having cancer or something like that.
No, that's
to
not
me.
the same, because
Any health issues, to me, any health issues is off the table. You don't joke about that.
If I don't know, I didn't know she had alopecia.
You can put me on IG.
Chris Rock knew. Chris Rock knew.
How do you know that? How do you know that, Mo?
You have to be living under. You have to be living under a rock. He should have known.
Writers should have. His people should have.
First of all, it wasn't a joke that he wrote. He was looking in the audience. That wasn't a written joke. That wasn't a written joke.
I didn't know that she had it. I didn't know that she had it. I thought she looked cute with her haircut, but it wasn't. I don't think it was just that joke, because there's prior history there with Chris saying stuff about Jada and Will.
And when Jada, when you protest something at the Oscars, let's put the monologue that y'all just played and let's put it in its proper context. I'm hosting the Oscars. Jada's protesting and other people are protesting the Oscars. I'm going to bring it up in my monologue. I'm not going to not bring it up. Like, we are really making it open season now, that if you feel like a joke,
open season to protect your spouse. Yes, it's open season to protect your family.
If you wanted to protect them, all you had to do was see him after the show. That's all.
He could have done that. He could have.
But
maybe he's tired of seeing people behind the scenes. Maybe he's tired of having these behind closed door meetings and being polite and eating shit in public. Maybe he's tired of that. And last night it just went down, and Chris Rock happened to be the person that caught it.
Yeah, and he took it out, not on the white people who done did it to him. He ain't take it out on them.
Well, I don't think there's a time limit on that. I think I think when it happens, when the straw breaks the camel's back, it just breaks the camel's back, and that's just what it is. And whoever catches it, catches it.
Don't nobody know what the hell Jada's going through. And I didn't know.
He has a team of people who I'm sure he runs jokes by, who he runs his material by on a stage this big.
Can you listen to me?
You can't pay me to believe that he wasn't privy to certain stuff. Even the seating arrangement. Who's going to be sitting up front?
Mo, do you understand that wasn't a joke that he wrote? I'm gonna say it one more time. He was looking out into the audience. It's not
about the joke he wrote. It's about the information he's privy to before he touches that stage.
How do
you don't think that he's privy to who is sitting in the front?
Yes, but how do you know he knows she has alopecia? How can you sit here and say he knew?
Because when you're doing jokes like that on that big of a stage, you got your research. We got our research department.
He's got writers. Nobody is researching alopecia on Jada. Nobody is saying
it's a joke. If you're doing jokes about certain people, we need to understand how it's going to affect those people. People were doing jokes about Chadwick Boseman, and look what happened. It was his health issues, and he died.
Did anybody know?
Nobody knew.
That was private. That was private.
That away. Jada is out in the open.
He's talked about it since as early as like 2017 or 18.
It doesn't mean that Chris Rock knows.
But the team probably didn't think that he would get out there and say something like that. So they probably didn't. That might be one. That might be one piece.
Team knew he was doing that joke.
First of all,
no, he
once
did.
again,
How did we didn't even know how she was gonna show up, Jay. We didn't know. If
No,
she
they
was
knew
gonna have
Will
a-
and Jada was going to be
Shawn
there.
Robertson-
We didn't know
He was expecting
how
to
she
see
was
him.
gonna look, though.
the
We
girl
didn't know how
has
she was gonna
alopecia.
look.
Y'all are assuming
Shawn
Chris Rock
Robertson
knows.
says that Chris Rock was asked to stay away from the Jada jokes. And if they did say that, it's because one, again, you're privy as a host to know who's sitting up front, what the seating arrangement looks like ahead of time.
He told
they
Mike,
may
you're
have very well
away.
told him that.
So Michael Shawn, as a comedian, we actually
First of all,
do
we
not
don't know.
say jokes
Whoa.
Allegedly.
Before we even go any
Allegedly.
we're not
Allegedly,
saying
he was actually
Shawn
stay
Robinson,
away.
no disrespect. We're not taking you as God here.
I said allegedly.
But if that was the case and a grown man still went on,
I'm Chris Rock. If I want to tell the joke, I'm telling the joke.
so you got to
Hold on,
understand
Mike.
the consequences
Well,
that
then
could
you
come
got
from
to
that.
deal with
This is my thing, y'all. Y'all have set a precedent now that if somebody snaps at an award show, they can jump on stage. Do you know how crazy that sounds? Yes, you have.
No, I'm not. Because guess what? You can snap at a picnic. You can snap at a cookout. There is no time limit. There is nothing that says snapping or losing it or coming to your threshold. Nobody knows the timing of that.
Hey, everybody, if you snap in America in 2022, you have to have no restraint. You can do whatever you want.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
As long as you're mad,
No.
as long as you're mad and you claim you're defending your family.
No. What I'm saying is what it did show you, if anything, is that no matter how big of a star you are still human with raw emotions and raw feelings. And you do not have self-control as most of us look at our artists and our favorite superstars. We look at them as if they are subhuman.
Mike ain't no protector. Mike don't protect his family. That's what you trying to say, Mike.
I know.
I'm not saying that he was right or wrong. What I'm speaking on is his.
That's my problem. That's my problem. That's my
because
problem. In a
I
nutshell.
am speaking
Is he
solely on him. Just people saying, "Oh, he should have been more composed. He should have been able to control himself more." I don't know anybody who hits the ceiling and they're able to control themselves once they hit the ceiling.
That is the excuse that is going to lead to other shit. Because everybody else is held responsible. Everybody else. Because let me tell you something.
It doesn't mean you're not held responsible. I mean, every action has a consequence.
It's not because there's tons of people going like, "Oh, I understand." Understand what? The example.
You don't have to agree with someone's behavior to understand how it could happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
I saw Lady Q comment earlier, said she it overshadowed. Of course, that's the part she's upset about. But she know that I better smack a person if you and your spouse going through something, like you expect your person to protect you and be there for you, right?
If you have exposed the most personal stuff in your life for consumption, you have put yourself out there. You have put the most personal stuff. And you know what's funny about this, y'all? Is that everybody's like, how Will snap. Nobody talks about how selfish Will and Jada were for putting that shit out there and not thinking about their kids.
They're adult kids?
I don't care if it's adult kids.
Well, I think if you all of us follow Will and Jada in some fashion. They are very open about how they have raised their kids in terms of their ideology, and about how they let them grow and what type of space they let them grow. And they are open and saying it is non-traditional. Our parenting skills are non-traditional, and it may not look good to you from the outside. But we have brilliant kids. We have. Again,
you can't take a joke.
Again, I think
but you can sit in front of your kids. Your mom can sit in front of your kids and say, "How I was banging an R&B singer the same age as Jaden."
Mike, but we get the memo in radio. Okay, these are the questions you can ask. This is what you need to stay away from. And what do we do as jocks when we want that good interview? We push the line and ask what we want to ask.
No, so, I'm not even upset about him being a comedian. I'm upset about it as I know Will did it because he knew he wasn't going to get any payback from Chris Rock.
I don't.
That's why he
didn't know if Chris Rock is going to swing back on him. Chris Rock is from,
you didn't know Jada reaction was going to be upset like
but
that.
That makes sense the way Jada reacted because the G.I. Jane joke, was it that bad? No, but I was looking at her wondering like, well, why she get so upset about that? Well, if I done already told you don't get up there and say X,
And
Y,
you
and
talked
Z
about
about
me
me,
before.
and then you just gonna be disrespectful and do it anyway because you don't give a damn.
You need them
Yeah,
hands.
I
No,
think
you don't
yeah,
need. This is the funny thing: is the Smiths really think that they are on some shit that no other Hollywood star is on?
That's not
So
it.
on
It
Instagram,
ain't even about being a star. We
Every
can take
other-
this. We can take this to Keisha down on MLK.
But we're not. But we're not on
and Malcolm X.
That's
It's
my
the
point.
same thing.
That
If
is
she
my.
say keep
that's
my
my whole
name
point
out your
exactly.
mouth,
That's my whole point exactly.
and Bobo keep putting her name in his mouth, eventually it's gonna be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
That's just people. That's just human beings.
Yeah, that's human beings.
First of all,
line crossing.
It's human beings.
Jada is not Will's wife at the Oscars. Jada is an actress and a public figure.
No, she's his
Everybody,
wife everywhere. That doesn't
everybody
stop.
is open for a joke. The
That
fact that
doesn't
y'all
stop.
excusing Will for one of the most ignorant acts I've ever seen take place, the most ignorant act.
No,
ever.
I appreciate Will for actually standing up and protecting and defending his black woman. Because if it was a white bitch, we wouldn't be talking about it.
Oh, yes, we would. Oh, we'd be crazy.
No, we wouldn't. It'd be, he did such a good job protecting his little, man, whatever.
Taking it too
Fuck
far.
out of here.
If a white man would have got up and smacked Chris Rock, y'all would be, all your squares would be on fire right now. If a white man would have got up,
yeah, I'm talking about a black man that's with a white woman. That's what I'm talking about.
If a white man
Jada
got up,
if Jada was a white woman and he got up there and did that, it'd have been
no, it'd have
he's
still
such
been
a good
ridiculous.
man, and he's such a good husband.
You know what?
Fuck out of here. He defended his black woman publicly on TV. Kudos to you, Will Smith. If you ain't did shit that I don't like, I love that.
Hold on, he was so tough. Hold on. He was so tough. He was so tough that at the end of his speech, he was like, "I hope the Academy will have me back."
And they did not, and that's fine.
Because now hold on. Now it's settled in. Now it all settled in again. Now he was like, "All the white people saw me."
But guess what?
He's a black man, and that's the thing.
And I'm just speaking from a behavioral standpoint. When you see somebody who is in crisis and then they realize what they actually have done, of course there's like,
until
Shaq,
when Shaq's in front of him, it doesn't happen. When Mike Tyson's in front of him, it doesn't happen. When
Well, they don't be disrespectful like that though.
So I am
he was my boy.
Yeah, Mike. Months ago, he liked
No. I'm 1,000 in real life. I already know. You got to understand. Everybody is celebrating him. Will knows what he did was fucked up. Will knows.
You saw
Will right now. His whole
team
right now is in crisis mode because Will right now. This is what goes on after the Oscars every year. You do the Good Morning Americas. You do the Today Show. You do all the shows. You promote. Your movies coming. Hey, everybody. He's not doing any of that because what you did was you allowed your emotions to ruin the best night of your life.
Does Will really need to? We talking about Will Smith. Does
Will
he really
Smith,
need to do a Good Morning America tour? He ain't got to do that.
We don't have to say anything.
Whoa. Leonardo DiCaprio. Wait a second. Will ain't a bigger star than Leonardo DiCaprio.
Depends on who you ask.
No,
depends on who you ask.
Depends
and
on
he
who
has
you
that
ask.
choice.
Please
But I mean, we talking about Will
Please
Smith. We ain't talking about me or you.
Stop, y'all.
Then
Please
we
stop.
need to make the tour.
Please stop.
The morning show.
We need to make the tour.
The Oscars. Do you know why? That's why Monique. Do you know why? That's why Monique got blackballed.
Monique
That's
is not
exactly
Will
why
Smith.
Monique got. Okay, well, guess what? His whole team, y'all could deny this all you want. This is one fact I know. His team is in crisis mode. That movie studio right now is so pissed the fuck off. They don't even know what to do right now with Will Smith. They are so livid that you have really fucked up all this money that got put into this movie that we have not recouped. Let me tell you about a movie studio that does not recoup. Will can talk all that he wants. What he does know is when a movie studio does not recoup their money, it fucks up the next time another black movie needs to be made. There was a ton of responsibility
because white folks be out here savage all the time, and they movies still get out.
Shawnee, you can white folk all day long.
I'm saying, but that's the reality. That's
like you are saying double standards.
That's an excuse. That's an excuse. That's a cop out.
No, I'm
just
telling you the
because
truth.
they don't want to support black artistry.
Yes.
It ain't because Will slapped this nigga in the mouth. It's not because they white niggas do shit every day, and these hoes still put they shit out, and they white, and they can be savages, they can tear up shit, they can rape people, they can do all kind of stuff. That is an excuse. It is not Will Smith's fault that the next black movie ain't being put out. Take your shit down there to Tyler Perry. He got a whole studio and everything. Stop kissing these crackers' asses to try to get what he
Will
wants.
ain't going to Tyler Perry because Will wants to win an Oscar.
Will wants to win an Oscar. Will and Jada got their own production company too.
And guess what they did?
Don't need them.
And guess what
do not need them.
And guess where they went?
It's not about that. Black people can find other avenues and can work together and get their shit out.
Absolutely right.
So no, don't
Unfortunately,
say that Will done messed it up for black people. Black people messed it up for black people themselves. That's what it is.
Funny. Y'all will blame everybody. Y'all will blame black people. Y'all blame a whole race of people before y'all blame anything on Will.
It's not that.
Everything Shawnee's saying is correct.
Okay.
Everything she's saying is correct. Unfortunately, it's not reality. There's a difference.
Better not press charges.
There's a difference.
Better not press charges.
I would have pressed charges that night.
You better not.
Let somebody talk about Logan and his little daughter. Chris would have did the same
what
thing.
would Chris Rock gave for pressing charges? There's no way.
I would have done it. I would have done it so that the cops would have came. I would have done it. I'm an asshole. I would have done it so the cops came and arrested him during the goddamn Oscars.
Nah, that would have been corny. That would have been corny. That would have been corny. No,
what's corny is smacking me. Let me tell you the other thing.
And so let me say this.
Let me tell you
what y'all better. Somebody who can control their emotions. One human being on this earth that doesn't have a threshold, and I'll turn over my goddamn therapist license to you right now.
Wait.
Show me one person who has control over their emotions, especially when they get to the top. If you think that he don't got a goddamn threshold too, you sadly mistaken. He is a human being.
Let me tell you what. Did Obama flip in public
and making them superhuman?
Answer the question.
Guess what? Up until this point, neither did Will Smith.
Up until this point,
I'm saying to you, listen to what I said. There's not one human being on this earth that does not have a threshold or the capability of losing it on a public platform. There's nobody. And that's because we are human. Nobody.
And guess what, Mo? That doesn't mean you don't suffer the repercussions for it. That doesn't
mean I say that there's a consequence to every action. There's a consequence.
And thank you.
Chris Rock didn't press charges, but look what we're doing. Everybody's judging. Everybody's talking. So yes. This is the backlash. Yep. This is the backlash of it. Everybody's talking about it.
Put that battery in your back again. Put the battery in your back again because you laughed 2 seconds before. You looked at her, and then all of a sudden it got back.
Was it a laugh because he thought it was funny, or was it a laugh to save face? And was he trying to? Because I laugh when I'm uncomfortable.
And you know what? He's tired of eating shit politely. He is tired of eating shit politely. Why you got to keep eating shit politely? Goddamn!
Well, Shawnee, hold on, Shawnee. Guess who he ate? Okay. Guess who he ate the most shit from ever in history?
That's between him and his wife, and they decided to put that shit out publicly.
No.
They decided to do that.
If it's between him and his wife, why did they broadcast? Why did they broadcast it?
At the straw.
At the end of the day, I got tired of hearing about Will and Jada's trials and shit. But at the same time, I appreciate them for being transparent because they are not the only two people dealing with that in the world.
Most shit
they ain't the only two people dealing with that.
Who did he eat? I want to know. I want to know who. I want to know who Will Smith.
Last night wasn't no
all
shit
I want to
on
know.
his plate.
All I want to know is can somebody
on the plate last night.
Can any of the squares
and Chris Rock was the one who caught it.
Can any of these squares answer this question? Because I know you don't want to answer because Will's such a good guy.
Said,
who did he eat
being a good guy.
In public? Who did he eat the most shit from in history?
Herpes Goddess said his father.
Can somebody answer?
Oh wow.
She said his father.
She said what? His father?
Yeah, she said his father.
Chris Rock was the only one who had control over his emotions. But I will say this: who did Will Smith eat the most shit from ever in history and had to take it and be nice?
And when I said control over your emotions, I'm talking about when you hit the ceiling. When you
I just want to answer. All I want is
that threshold.
Why is it I can't get an answer?
You got an answer. You just don't like the answer.
No. Who is it? Who is it?
Charlie on fire this
What was
morning.
the answer? What was the answer?
You got an answer.
What was the answer?
Now, and I already said
What was
with
the
Jada,
answer?
and that was between him and his wife.
It wasn't between him and his wife. It was
That
broadcasted.
between him and his wife.
It was broadcasted.
They knew what they were gonna sit down. The Red Table is
Yes.
a production, so you don't think before they got on this show
Yes.
that they didn't say, okay,
Yes.
this is what the play gonna be, and you gonna
As he
say
was
this,
crying.
and then
As he
I'm
was
gonna
crying.
react this way.
So who did he
You
eat the
don't
most
think
shit
that?
from?
You don't think so?
If I was Will-
he ate the most shit from the public. Now, he
ate the most shit
more
from
shit
Jada.
from the public than he did with Jada.
And Jay, you
He
a
knew
goddamn
Jada
lie because
before
you
he
know
said
damn
Don't
that
well.
judge
at the
me.
Red
No,
Table.
you
know
can't
damn
handle
well.
Shiny.
You know
No,
damn
Gangsta
well.
Pizza.
I can handle
I'm
all three
loving
of
this
y'all.
pizza. I
All
love
three
it,
of
Gangsta
y'all.
Pizza. I
You
love it.
can't tell me that
Get him,
before
Shiny.
he sat down at that red table, he knew his wife was.
He was
screwing
already
August
crying.
Alsina.
He was
August
already
Alsina was
crying.
living in the house. What you think this young
was
boy
liter-
doing that ain't got to take Viagra or see Alice or pump his dick up?
That blue
What
hat.
you think was happening? And you got this little boy staying in your house with your wife, who's probably at her highest sexual peak.
Little boy.
He knew that before he sat down, so he ate the most shit from the public, not her. He knew that. He was probably in there with her.
That is
He
the
was
most
probably
bizarre.
screwing-
I'm sorry, wait, what did Shawn Robinson say? Shawn Robinson said, Mike. Wait, put Shawn Robinson other comment back up there. Wait a minute. He said, Mike, you didn't let a friend of a friend speak to your fiance on the Spirit of Philadelphia.
You was going to slap.
And I ain't even smack him. I ain't even
But
smack
you
him.
was
about to.
You was
I
about
ain't even
to.
smack him. You know why? Because I wasn't going to jail. But once again, y'all know
Will
for
knew he
every
wasn't
man,
going to
every
jail.
man watching right now, that was the most embarrassing display of a man sitting there at that red table. Now we can make believe because of the subject, and if we were talking about this at another time and we weren't debating this, all three squares would agree with me. But because we're talking about what we're talking about, they want to debate it and be like, nah, they knew what they were going to do. He was already in tears before they turned the motherfucking cameras on. And that man had to eat that shit, and he didn't even curse at her. He didn't even call her out her name. You talk about eating shit when a chick tells you I smashed out. You know what I would have, if I was Will Smith at the Oscars, when she got the attitude and looked at me, I was like, well, bitch, I guess you just got into another entanglement with a joke this time. Because you're not gonna get me. You're not gonna get me. You're not gonna get me riled up to go smack a dude over a joke. Rodney, I know I'm right. I
don't think it's about being right or wrong. I'm telling you, I'm talking
wrong.
about the
You're
behavior.
wrong. No, you're wrong.
And that's fine. I can accept your opinion and your viewpoint.
You're wrong.
But what I'm saying to you is everybody has a threshold and everybody's looking at it at, it's like watching coming on Monday and talking about what shoulda, coulda happened on Sunday night football. Okay. We Monday morning quarterbacking this, right? We can't say what state of emotion that man was in that made him do that.
That's not my problem.
We're looking at it through lenses saying, he could have just sat down and kept laughing. And he could have dealt with that in the parking lot. He could have dealt with that back in the blue in the or the green room.
Once again, that's his problem.
Where the boundaries at?
Nobody else should have to catch consequences because of Will being unstable and things building up. The world.
So let me ask you: does any unstable person think about the consequences or how it affects everybody else around them? I don't think so.
But they get the consequences.
I don't think so. When you're in that state, you're not thinking of anything.
But they still receive the consequences. Nobody walks around and defends them. When I snap in this house, don't nobody give a damn about everything I was going through. Nobody care, and I don't get a pass because
it's not about getting a pass. You can say to somebody, "I can see how that could happen." It doesn't mean that you agree with how somebody handles something, but you can say, "I see how that can happen."
Okay, well now
I wish that person would have handled it differently, but I can see how that could happen.
Now you've said that a bunch of times. Now here's the question. Was Will right or wrong for doing what he did?
He was right. I say he was right. Yeah, I said it. And I said what I said.
We heard you all 5 times.
I said what I said.
Mike couldn't handle it. Mike,
acknowledge
it though, Mike.
And you know what? And I don't understand you, Mike. I don't understand you, Mike. You got a whole wife over there, so you telling me anybody can just sit up and disrespect her, and you just gonna sit there and puff on that thing that you over there puffing on?
It was a G.I. Jane
I don't care what kind of joke it was.
It's bigger than the joke.
It doesn't matter what kind of joke it was. It wasn't right, Mike. It wasn't right, Mike. And you know what? You should stand up better for your family. You should defend your woman better than that.
You can't put the battery in my back, Shawnee.
You should.
I'm not Will. I'm not Will.
We know.
Hey Jada, you're not gonna ruin. You're not gonna ruin You're not gonna help me. You're not gonna actually put the battery in my back. And this is the thing about Jada. Here's what I love about. This is what I love about Jada. This is what I love about Jada. That night had nothing to do with her. And what she needed to do,
exactly. You are absolutely right.
It
had nothing to do with her.
Can I finish?
Chris got his monkey ass up there and said what he said about her, and it wasn't about her. You are absolutely right. You are correct.
Can I finish the statement?
You done put Shotty off to where so she had
to take a step back. One last square, god dang it.
Number one. If you have a wife, no, she got to take the kids. She'll be back. Number one. She knows where they're at right now. She knows where Will is at right now as a wife. I'm going to be in all seriousness. This ain't even about a debate. This is about the real shit since y'all want to bring up Stacey. Stacey knows where my mental is at a certain moment, at a big event in my life. This is the biggest event ever. She knows what I'm not going to do is get my man kicked up because I know he's on the edge. And I know he's been on the edge for the last 3 or 4 weeks. And my unselfishness is going to be like, I'm going to laugh at the joke because what I don't want to do is get this man kicked up on the biggest day of his life. The day that he's worked his entire life. See, the emotion that y'all keep yelling out and showing you like monkey ass and this and that and that. The fact of the matter is his entire life was based on this night. Everything he's ever worked for was based on this night. And you rile him up. Jay Black, Lady Q knows damn well.
Lady Q was full of crap because on one hand she's telling she know I will protect her and she loves that part.
Jay, I think you're missing a lot of key points when we're simplifying this and breaking this down. You're missing a lot of key points.
No,
and
I'm not
saying.
Go ahead.
Okay. Mo.
Lady Q is not going to get you kicked up over something, Jay. Listen to me. It's the biggest night of our lives. Me and you are about to get an award. Me and you are literally about to get the biggest award of our lives. We're like, I can't believe we're here. Neither one of our women, our wives, are going to get us kicked up at that moment, especially if they know we are on the edge.
So it's Jada's fault for catching feelings, but go ahead.
Yes.
It's Jada's fault for not
she put the battery in his back and she knew it.
So it's Jada's fault.
Yes.
Well, you know what?
I don't agree with that.
So is Camari. I'm just gonna bring everybody in. I know it's Money Mondays.
Oh, good morning.
Good morning. Let's make it a group here.
What up?
I'm curious to get Amir's perspective and Kamari's related.
Okay, I'm gonna make this quick because I got to run and head to work. Mike, I absolutely understand what you're saying about Jada. Knowing the moment and the night. I'm gonna share this story real quick with y'all because this is how I see the situation. We don't ever know what moment is going to be the moment to push you over the edge. This is a true story from a 10-year-old Amir Staley. I was 10, 11 years old, something like that. Long story short, my oldest brother was watching myself and my younger brother and younger sister. He was pushing my buttons and he was telling me to, do something that my mom had asked us to do. It was clean the bathrooms, do the dishes, something along those lines. Anyway, long story short, my whole entire family is known for fashion. So we keep scissors, or we had scissors always around the house in various places for cutting out patterns, cutting out material, whatever. Long story short, my brother kept pushing that nerve. I grabbed the scissors and he took off running. And if he was one step slower, I still wouldn't have an older brother because I threw the scissors at him and they stuck in the wall. I bring that up because no matter what anybody says, you don't know what moment is going to be the moment to push somebody over the edge. It doesn't make a difference if it's a show. It doesn't make a difference if you're in the park. It doesn't make a difference if you at a Grammy Awards or whatever. It doesn't make a difference. The point is, obviously, Will Smith was at his tipping point. That's all that happened last night. Everyone who's in all of these squares has had a moment where you have been at your tipping point, good, bad, and indifferent. We keep trying to, dance around stuff because we're like, well, we're stars and this and that and the third. At the very end of all of this, regardless of whether you've been a star, you're a human being. All human beings have a moment where enough is enough. For whatever reason, it just appeared that last night, that was his tipping point. Now, I'm not excusing him. I'm not giving him a pass and saying that what he did is right or wrong, because that's what everybody's trying to go with. We got to be on one side or the other. There's no right or wrong. We just don't know when people are going to have that moment. I say that to say this. The jails are full of men and women who got to their tipping point. That's what goes on. Whether it's something somebody said, whether it's something somebody did. The last thing I'll say about this, and this is, again, me speaking for me, when he got up and he started walking towards Chris Rock, I just don't understand. And granted, they may be friends off camera, so forth and so on. If I saw Camari, if I saw you, Mike, if I saw you, Jay Black, approaching me, in my mind, my spike would have went off. I just would have been like, like, what's up? Are we on guard? What's really on guard? The fact that for whatever reason he didn't do that, I just find that strange, because where we from, Mike, you from the Bronx, I'm from the Bronx. Mike, we, in our minds, anytime anybody's approaching us under any circumstance, the first thing we thinking about is, do I need to get defensive here, or am I going to have to strike first? That's always in my mind. The last thing, again, that I'll add to that is, granted, it was the biggest stage in the world and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. We would have been wrestling. There's no way you would have smacked me.
He walked away.
It didn't escalate into some wrestling or into something.
And Amir, but you do know, and real quick, because I know you got to go. Two things. If Chris Rock would have retaliated, it would have been so ugly. It would have been the ugliest thing in history to see televised. Number two, the story you told, and thank you for sharing that. Let's remember, you were 10. You were 10.
It doesn't. Emotion has no age. Remember that.
And I understand, but I just want to say this: at some point, we have to decide whether what he did was right or wrong. Now, we can understand.
Do we have to decide that?
We can understand why he did it. But if Chris Rock had pressed charges, he would have to stand in front of a judge and say if it was right or wrong. So, at the end of the day, to show these young people that snapping has a consequence. See, because we got kids snapping in Philly every single day. We got them snapping every single day, running these streets, snapping. And when Will Smith snaps, the thing that kills me is how many adults are applauding it. How many adults are applauding his action? That is what is scary, because we're literally applauding it as if we're in high school and it happened in the cafeteria. Like what happened yesterday was one of the most embarrassing displays ever. Whether you get why Will did it or didn't, you have to understand, I have snapped in my life. And guess what? Afterwards, I've been 1,000% embarrassed and learned from it. I'm just saying, the people that are applauding this action aren't understanding how really weird that was.
No, again, Mike, I absolutely agree with you. Like I said, I'm saying we are on the fence because everybody thinks that there needs to be a right or wrong versus there just needs to be he had a moment. We all have had moments. I don't care what stage it was on. He had a moment. Now,
if he would have had that moment, if Ellen would have told that joke and he would have had that same moment, what do you think would have been the repercussions?
Well, here's the thing about whether it was Ellen or anybody else. The reality of it all is it wasn't Ellen. That's first off. Secondly, the reality of it all is this. Everybody is under the impression, and we've gone to this. Well, Will Packard was the producer of this particular Oscar. First off, I'm sick and tired of us trying to, again, sit at this table that we think we need to sit at, and everybody goes, well, also he ended up winning the Oscar. Fuck the Oscars, and I'm saying that on y'all show. And if I'm cursing I'm saying that for a reason. I'm sick and tired of, and I said this last night because I was up on Rodney Perry shit at like damn near 2 a.m. I haven't watched the Oscars since they dissed Black Panther. True story. I haven't watched it. I don't give a damn who's producing it. I don't care who's a part of it. Ever since they dissed Black Panther, I was like, I got no reason to watch this damn show because you can't tell me from the standpoint of everything that Black Panther stood for, it shouldn't have won every goddamn thing. I don't want to hear one best costume and all that. I don't give a fuck about that.
I agree. I totally agree with you. I agree with you.
With that having been said, you're talking about a institution, as there are so many institutions in this particular country who continues to do the simple things that they think are so paramount to our being able to enjoy ourselves. We got to stop letting them, push those buttons. Like I said, the man's buttons got pushed. I'm not justifying what he did. As you just said, I'm not thinking that what he did, I do understand how and why people are seeing it on both sides. And all I'm saying is he's a human being first before we get to the Will Smith, before we get to the rapper, before we get to Fresh Prince. He's a human being. Mike, you said it clearly. The man's buttons, and I think Mo alluded to this, his temperament has just been rising because he has been trying to definitely take all of this into account and be as calm as he can to a certain point.
Amir, I know you gotta go. I got one quick question before you go.
Yes, sir.
Because me and Shawnee got into, she was like, well, Will Smith is tired of eating shit and taking it. And I said, you know what was the moment where he ate the most shit? Was when he was sitting at the red table and his wife told him she was getting smashed out by August Alsina. Am I wrong for that, Amir, or is that correct?
No, you're absolutely correct in that. But even in that moment, again, no, hold up, Camari. Even in that moment, I will say this again. Like I said, Mike, I had the opportunity to meet you, in person. Jay Black, Mo, and Camari. Obviously, I'm looking to meet all of you guys. This has been said about me. They're like, you're one of the calmest and coolest, most even-tempered people on the planet. And you're right. I was 10 years old. But Mike, I'm gonna tell you now, at 53, I still have those moments. I tell people this. I'm nice. Let nice Amir stay out. Don't make mad Amir come out because you don't want to see him because I don't want to see him. That's real talk. But see, nobody wants to have that conversation. We don't want to be real with ourselves about that. So what we do is we go, oh, well, it was a moment. Don't make those moments happen. We got to stop poking people. Triggers and traumas are real parts of every one of us as human beings. With that having been said, you got to be careful what triggers are what traumas are gonna cause what triggers. So all I'm gonna say is,
I agree. I totally agree with that. The only problem I have is that Will Smith decided to make boundaries last night, and he took it out on Chris Rock because he didn't set the boundaries for the rest of the world. And what he did was I'm telling you right now, he did not smack Chris Rock because of that joke.
No, I agree.
Yeah, he smacked Chris Rock for everything else. And that is my problem, that Chris Rock had to take that embarrassment for and Will expose himself in the speech. He said it. He said, and I'm sitting there going like, so my thing is like, so why didn't you just apologize to Chris? If you know?
I agree with you. And I think that hopefully at some point, this is what I'm saying for me. I'm hoping at some point, both of these gentlemen will have a moment to obviously talk and hash out whatever they need to hash out. And then I am also hoping that at some point they will go public and say the same thing. Good, bad, indifferent. Hey, there's a moment. I lost my temper, blah, 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 blah. And hopefully we can get beyond it and get past it. Like I said, that's what I'm hoping for. Will it happen? Obviously, we don't know. But that's what I'm hoping for. Yes.
You hit on something that I didn't want anybody to skip past. When you talked about trauma, I just had a mental health forum talking about unstabilized traumas in our Black men and how it affects how they go through life. And so I'm glad that you brought that up because people don't see that. They only see the surface issue of this man done lost his temper and done slapped this man in the face. It's much deeper than that. It's definitely much deeper than that.
I agree with you, Mo, and everything you're saying is absolutely correct. But don't you think Jada added to, can we not just
know she did.
I'm asking Mo, didn't Jada add to that? Let me get to Kamar. Let me get to Thanks, Amir.
Thank you, Amir.
Salute. I'll see you guys later.
All right. See you later, big dog.
Yes, sir.
Come on. How can you sit there?
My name is Camari.
Don't you come on, like from the Roots.
I'm not a member of the Roots, man.
I can't say it. Kamari. I was shorting everybody's name. I was shorting everybody's name.
What's up, Shawn? What's up, Mo?
So what I'm saying is everybody wants to act like when all this is built up, and I'm gonna go with Mo's thing, and I believe that this was all built up. We can't subtract the fact that he sat in front of cameras and had his wife tell him that she was having an entanglement with a 27-year-old R&B star. You're gonna tell me if your wife told you that to your face?
Can I tell you the difference?
I'm not asking you. I'm not asking
you.
Oh,
okay.
They were in an open marriage. Like, I don't think that's their issue.
So what's he mad at then?
Who knows? I don't know. I mean, so I will say this, right? You can talk all the trash you want about me, but if you say something about my wife, bets might be off. So
unless your wife is a celebrity, and then
but I'm just talking about in general. But I'm just talking about in general. You can say a whole bunch of things about me, and I won't care. If you say something about my wife, that's when, like Amir said, Mar might come out, and it could be a problem. So I get it. But this goes back to that conversation we were having a couple weeks ago when I said men are more emotional than women, and y'all were like, no. Y'all were like, no.
I wasn't here for that.
I wasn't here. I must not been here for that. I already know I'm more emotional.
Here for that.
Jay was saying that's why he's smiling.
Oh, I know for a fact. I know. I listen, man. There is no doubt that I know when me and Stacey are in a dilemma. I know I'm the emotional one. Well, y'all know just by hearing me on this show, but she's the calm one who wants to have a conversation about something, and I'm the one on level 600 trillion. But go ahead. So what else did you want to say?
I don't think you can blame this on Jada. It was his actions. He responded for whatever reason. I don't think you can blame this on Jada. That's all I got.
This the only, and you're probably 100% right. The only.
And I'll say this: I thought it was fake. Because what Amir said earlier, Will's got at least 60 to 75 pounds on Chris Rock.
Oh yeah,
and that smack like
didn't even buckle him.
Like
he did a two-step, boom boom.
No, he didn't buckle.
Yeah, but
he didn't buckle. But
if you were 220, 230 pounds and you smack a five, and Chris Rock, they said he's 5'10". I know Chris Rock. Chris Rock is my size. He is exactly my size. So these people saying that Chris Rock is 6'10", I'm sorry, y'all. I'm horrible with names.
I'm sorry, but it was hella funny. It was hella funny.
But what I like the Mar. The Mar I can remember. Like Mar, I'm like Mar.
That's a classic moment. That's a classic moment, though.
But this is the only thing I'm saying, y'all. This is all I'm saying. Will's not getting up on anybody. He's getting up because he knows it's Chris Rock.
Yeah, Leela.
He's not just jumping up on that stage.
So if it was real, if because who knows, the joke may be on us because maybe it was part of a grand. But
I saw Chris Rock's face.
Again, and both of them are brilliant in their own spaces. Both of them are also professional actors. So who knows? Mm-hmm. But just in the grand scheme of things, I don't think that people realize that when you are in that space of, like I said, you're here, and it's a split moment where you just lose your. They're all drinking. They all drinking that expensive shit at their table. They all drinking.
They're all drinking, and who knows what else is in the system.
When if you look at his face, if you looked at his face when he came back and sat down, he still had that. It looked like a smile, but it was that craze that craze with the smile on your face that I'll say I do when I get angry. It's that moment. I'm telling you, if you look at everything, look at his face.
Here we go.
Y'all think he's laughing, but he's not. That's not a.
Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of him. Wow, dude. Yeah. It was a G.I. Jane joke. Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth. I'm going to.
Yeah, he was hysterical at that point. Jay thinks that's base. That's called being hysterical.
No, but you see that
he's about to cry.
The emotional rush that happens during and after you're in that moment is comparable to nothing probably that you'll ever feel on a day-to-day basis. Even if you're angry, you could be angry, but that's a different level of emotion that he was showing.
Hey, get on the IG, y'all.
Yo,
hey Mar, can you get on the IG? Hey Mar, can you get on the IG?
Hold on, I want to make sure I ain't got no echo. Hold on. Shawnee gonna be here to give me help.
She'll be back.
Mar.
Oh, God.
It looks like he was trying not to laugh at me. That's the same way I felt.
Yeah, it was like, did you see it? It was just like holding laugh. That's how I was like, are y'all sure
this is the embarrassing part? Hold on, this is. Let me give you another level to why Will really screwed this whole thing up. His acceptance speech, which should have been the most classic speech ever.
Oh, I got that too.
They had to cut away 2 times. I guess he spit while he was talking, and there was snot coming down his nose. And they had to go to Venus and Serena. No, I just, the more I talk about it now I'm feeling sorry for Will. See, now, because I'm soft. I should stick to my guns, but I'm soft.
No, but we've all seen Will ascend to such high heights, and to see him crack under such a small thing.
It humanized him. It humanized him because what's small to us may have been the tipping point for him. And I think that people are just not realizing that.
Right.
It could be the smallest. Your wife could put some sugar on your grits instead of salt and pepper, and it could make you tear the whole motherfucking house up. And people like, it was only sugar.
Hold on. Sugar on grits is actually good.
Actually, I do eat sugar on grits. But
you know what's funny?
People in Philly be like, that's nasty.
I realized last night that the most unsafe place to be is the Oscars.
He said no security.
They got no security.
Everybody's dressed up in gowns and tuxedos. Nobody thinks it's going to turn into the Source Awards.
But they have no security. I mean, none. Like, they was like, y'all going to figure this out on your own. Like, there was no security. There wasn't even an usher.
But Action, isn't he trained? Aren't they all trained to be poised no matter what's happening, to laugh? They have that motherfucker. I see what you said. We'll talk later. It's that nervous, that funny laugh. It's the program laugh. I feel like that's what that is. It's the program laugh. Everybody laughs, even if they feel insulted. I just think
we can say whatever we want and exclude Jada and everyone. Will went from laughing to looking, battery in the back, to getting up and smacking. It's almost like he was Jada's robot.
You got to look at the laugh. Don't look at the laugh like that. Look at the laugh as
sometimes you're laughing already, and
reaction, you're processing things. You're processing, and then you see your spouse is pissed. Now it's go time. Like, you gotta look. Don't look at the laugh.
I'm not smacking somebody.
I'm like Lady Q.
I'm not smacking somebody because they crack a joke about my girl's hair.
I think it's
all jokes ain't funny.
Not. It's bigger than that.
She has alopecia though. So.
I know. I get it, but we're not assuming that everybody knows this, because I didn't know. And Sequisa said the funniest thing: the real Aunt Viv, the original Aunt Viv, is laughing her ass off right now. The original Aunt Viv is like, oh, y'all saw the other side. Oh, y'all saw the side that I done seen. Oh, America saw the other one. Got it.
But I don't think I've never looked at Will Smith as being like a untouchable type of person when it comes to feelings and emotions. I don't look at people like that. He is like everybody else on these 4 squares. He is human. He got raw emotion. And yes, is he programmed, especially when you have PR people telling you how you should respond? He has years and years in the game. So yes, when we see Will Smith out, it is but don't think for a moment that he's not. Before Red Table Talk, you didn't see any of that vulnerable side of Will. You didn't see a rage or any type of emotion outside of poised Will Smith, superstar Will Smith. Okay, but it doesn't mean that he's not human. Sugar on grits. Baby, but I eat sugar on my grits. Action. Thank you. But for those who don't, that could be, again, that could be something as small as that could be a tipping point for them.
Well, you know what? There has to be a consequence for tipping points.
It could be, and it maybe not. The fact that he's not is only Chris Rock can press charges. He's not doing it. We move on.
And I'm telling you,
we are going to move on from this. We are going to still love Will Smith. Absolutely. I don't think that he's going to lose anybody.
He's going to get more fans for standing up and protecting his chick.
It's not us. See, y'all keep thinking it's us that counts.
I'm talking about them too. You think they're going to cancel Will Smith over this? No.
I'm talking about what counts is the money that you just caused this studio.
Hello.
That's what I'm talking about. Like, besides all that, when we got Rodney Perry in the building.
Good morning.
What up, Rodney?
Let me see if we can get Go ahead, Rodney.
I'm
gonna let you speak on it, Rodney.
I think it's interesting. Can y'all hear me?
Yep. Yeah, we can hear you.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I don't know, y'all volume went down for some reason. I don't know.
No, we can hear you. We can hear you. Quiet. We can hear you.
It's interesting to me to hear the ladies this morning condoning this behavior. Because, in my opinion, and I never agree with Mike Shawn. Perfect.
Facts.
I almost deliberately. But Mike Shawn, you have never been more right. Will Smith was wrong. But more than him being wrong, Jada Pinkett Smith was wrong. And I'm going to tell you why.
Jada wrong?
Let him finish.
As a married man, there's one person in this world that can push my buttons. And she lives in this house. She knows how, when, and how she can emotionally touch me places that no other human being can touch me. Right? So you at the Oscars, in my opinion, she hijacked his night. She made the whole night about her. We're talking today about this because of a facial expression. Because he knew if he went home with that look and didn't do something. We saw a movie. Remember John Q?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
John Q.
John Q's wife looked at him and she said, do something. She didn't know he was going to take the hospital hostage.
So wait a minute.
Wait. Let him finish.
You can't, you can't say that to him. So now, my wife just shot me a look. I'm like, oh, you know what? I know how to deal with this. Wrong. You 50 years old. I just read this guy's book. I find Will Smith to be one of the awesome human beings on earth. He's been motivation to me. I'm disappointed in him for allowing her to hijack that moment. The Williams sisters, the Williams family, their father. How dare you, Will Smith? How dare you take that man's name like that in that moment?
The comment said, "This is bullshit, Rodney. How did Jada know that Will was going to do that?
Why did she not try and grab him?
You just said that about the movie John Q.
That was my question.
You just said it about John Q. She didn't realize he was going to hijack that whole hospital and do what he did. So how did Jada know Will was going to get up and go smack that man on live TV?
Oh, she didn't know exactly what he was going to do. But rest assured, she knew, one, she was going to give him shit later tonight. He knew that. So heading that off is what caused the debacle. I mean, Jay, you married, am I right?
I'm married. Absolutely.
Your wife knows things about you nobody else knows.
Mm-hmm.
Can we concede that?
That's the truth.
If she touch your button, she could. We got a chance to watch that firsthand last night.
So Will, for defending his spouse, so you defending your wife, that you don't see any.
Hey Jay, real quick before you go to that typical thing, can I ask you why when she saw her husband get up, why did she not try and grab him?
Well, we don't know.
When was she being threatened?
We don't know if she reached her arm out.
What does she need to be defended from? Jada Pinkett Smith has proven a person that can stand on her own 2 feet. When does she need to be defended?
Yeah, when was she threatened?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean? She in 2016. Over the years, it's deeper. It wasn't just that moment.
Get a better signal.
All right.
Go in the house and get a better signal. Number one, she didn't try and stop him. Number two, the joke that he did in 2016, and let's put this in context about 2016, y'all. She protested against the Oscars amongst other people. He mentioned the other people who were protesting. The funny joke was she wasn't invited. He said the Rihanna joke. The Rihanna joke was really about him not being invited to the panties. That was the joke. So if that is
but you don't use my wife as the butt of your jokes.
And she shouldn't be a celebrity. She shouldn't be a celebrity.
Well, learn
Lady
what boundaries,
Q,
learn
Lady
which
Q,
people,
Lady,
learn,
you don't
figure out another way to be funny.
Jay, you cannot put boundaries on celebrity because that means we should not be talking about these celebrities the way we talking about them every single day.
I'm talking about my wife. How about that?
So wait a minute, we going
but
back
your
to
wife is not a
2016.
celebrity.
How about you understand
Your wife
that?
is not a celebrity.
What happened in 2016? Because I'm lost, and I'm
He
sure the audience
made-
is lost too.
He was doing a monologue.
Here we go.
He was hosting.
Mike got mad, and Sharpton got mad, and Jada went mad, and Will went mad. Everybody went mad. You know, it's quite like Jada got mad. Jada says she's not coming, protesting. I'm like, is she on a TV show? Jada's gonna boycott the Oscars. Jada boycotting the Oscars is like me boycotting Rihanna's panties. I wasn't invited.
Now that is what people are gonna say. Oh, it wasn't just a joke about G.I. Jane. It was a joke about Rihanna's panties.
It's deeper. You keep talking about my wife.
No, it's not deeper. Do you understand? Do you understand the level?
And then how she's there. Her
The
face,
level
she wasn't at
of
that first
intellect.
one. She
First
was
of all,
there.
she was not. You keep saying defend my wife. She wasn't threatened. Rodney made a great point. She wasn't threatened by anybody.
He's back.
I think we're all missing the point of
I'm lost.
that we all have a threshold, regardless of what it is, regardless of where we are. Everybody has a threshold, and so maybe he hit that. Like I said, I'm not saying that he's right or wrong. What I'm saying is I can see how last night happened.
But this is my problem. You keep saying I'm not saying if he was right or wrong because you won't say that he was wrong.
No, you know why? You know why I said I'm not saying that he's right or wrong, because I'm trying to make people focus on how it happened.
I get it.
How and why it could have happened.
At the end of the day, as a personality, you're gonna have to say, was he right
and
or wrong?
So again, in our natural minds, hell no, you know that's inappropriate behavior. Of course, you should be able to restrain. Wait a minute, Michael Shawn. Of course,
this explanation.
Because what you're trying to do is you're trying to rationalize the behavior of somebody who was not in an irrational space in their mind at that moment. So that is why I'm saying that.
Unfortunately, Mo, everybody's not a therapist. In the world, you're
right, and so that's why we're all bringing different viewpoints here on this show. So I'm giving you just another avenue to think about.
You've given the avenue. We traveled down the avenue like the lady on GPS that said, make a left, go down Threshold Road.
Right, and you're the rerouting voice of going back to your point.
No. At the end of the day, you have to decide whether his actions were right or wrong.
That is definite. It was definitely wrong because you shouldn't put your hands on anybody. But going back to what I said, I can see how it could happen. That's all I said. I can see how it could happen. I don't think the point of the story, since we've been discussing this, we haven't said, okay, it's wrong because he should have did this, he should have done that. I explained we're playing Monday morning quarterback to this.
No, we're not playing Monday.
Why are we not? Why are we not? Because none of us know.
Wait. Because when you say right or wrong, when he got up and smacked him at that moment, I said you're wrong. This ain't Monday quarterback.
So no, you're right. Action. If we went to court, he reached a threshold. It's not a defense, but his mental state would be a defense. It would be taken into consideration.
He still be found.
Yes, he was still right, and that's what I said earlier. Consequences. There's consequences to every action, regardless of what the state of your mind was. There's always going to be a consequence to your action,
which means he was wrong. And this is my thing with this Will Smith thing, y'all. I love Will Smith. I have admired this dude. Dog, I rewind certain parts of Ali that he mastered that I literally watch over and over again during this press conference when he goes off. That doesn't matter when last night he was absolutely 1,000% wrong for smacking Chris Rock. That's all I'm asking, y'all. All this other stuff is defending his wife and doing all that other stuff. And Shawnee literally said, oh, he was right. He was tired of putting up with shit. Didn't nobody tell you to become a superstar in Hollywood and put up with shit? You don't get it.
You understand it, though, right, Mike? You understand it.
But it's people every day walking the street that.
The IG comments are hilarious.
The people every day walking the street do not get treated and paid like Will Smith.
That's not what I'm. Now we're talking about standard. Because right or wrong doesn't have a standard, right? It doesn't have a position. It doesn't have a position.
No. That's where you're wrong.
That's expectation. That's expectation.
It's called responsibility of the people that make money off of you. You have a responsibility. You have in every athlete's contract. In every athlete's contract. All that threshold shit don't mean nothing because they sign a contract.
It doesn't mean nothing in regular life either.
No, but they sign a contract on their behavior. If it's detrimental to the team, we can cut you, fine you, or get rid of you.
That's the consequence.
Yesterday, Will Smith was detrimental to whatever movie studio he's working for. And I told you what Rodney said earlier. The embarrassing thing is that you allowed your personal to take away from the people who actually put their neck on the line and make that movie, which is Venus and Serena.
He's human, Mike.
I don't keep saying allow.
Jay, I don't
and that's, you keep saying he allowed.
Like he planned
you can't blow something for my entire family and then say I'm human.
But wait a minute, let's not act like this isn't going to be a good thing for the movie. Because more people are going to watch. More people are going to watch this movie.
They're not. They already know the ending.
They're going to watch this movie. More people are going to watch this.
They already know the ending.
They already know. Spun up more and more and more. It's a great rollout.
Nobody is watching this movie because he smacked Chris Rock.
Listen, Will's going to get more attention for this.
Yeah, bad attention. For the first time in his life, he's going to get the attention that Kanye West gets. He's going to get the Kanye West.
Is bad publicity.
Well, he's going to get.
Kanye is still selling sneakers and shoes and Gap apparel. He's still selling.
My thing is, but you got to be built. But Will Smith has never had to deal with Kanye West's attention ever in his career.
And what are they going to do with this? They're going to take this and they're going to spin it. Watch. Give it 5 days. It'll be a spin job.
Go ahead, Rodney. You're here with us, so go ahead.
Protect your spouse.
Again, I'm really trying to process everybody's point, man. Jay Black, Mo, I get it. The protection issue is what he said during his acceptance speech. You know, I was just protecting my family from Chris Rock.
In general, right? You know he meant it in general. It wasn't just Chris.
No.
It was enough's enough.
The aggression.
He was protecting him from Pookie.
The aggression was taken out on Chris Rock. Now let's look at the like Mo said. We're absolutely Monday morning quarterbacking this shit, literally. So let's really look at it like an event, okay? Will Smith is what, 220?
That's what I've been trying to
My question is, would he have went up there? I mean, you made it extreme with Ellen, but for anybody that was maybe exactly his size, if The Rock maybe was doing that joke, would he have still walked his ass up there?
No.
I say he wasn't out of his mind.
No, he wasn't.
Now, was he dealing with some extreme circumstances? As a married man that live with a woman that can push my buttons, absolutely. Absolutely. There's one person in the world that can manipulate, well, I won't use that word, that can push my buttons. And her name is Angela Perry.
Hey, Miss Perry.
And she knows she can do it. And she may never exercise that. But when she does, you're like, yo. Now, this is what scares me personally. I'm a professional comedian.
Facts.
So now.
Yep. That was my next step.
Have we opened our floor? Have we opened our audience for guys to just walk up on the stage and stop you when they don't like a joke? Is that what we doing?
But I'm sure you've been intimidated by jokes you said and people got at you and you saw that look in the eye and you might have backed off, you or Mike as comedians, right?
They didn't walk on stage, Jay Black. Will Smith just empowered thousands of people.
Yes, he did.
So now you in the audience go, I don't like that joke. Every joke.
Yep.
Every single joke. He put my life in danger.
I think we're taking a little far with that.
No. Wait. Rodney. In Los Angeles, last week, a guy came to the stage. They took him off the stage. Mike Tyson was in the audience. They pulled him to the side of the stage and he pulled out a gun.
The guy pulled the gun.
I saw that clip.
So don't tell us we exaggerating. Steve Brown had to deal with this when somebody rolled up on
But
stage.
he pulled the gun because he wanted to holler at Mike and his people wouldn't allow him. It wasn't because somebody said a joke.
Don't do this nonsense. He did not. He pulled the gun.
That's what it was.
No, and then Mike called him over.
After all the fuss and everything, then Mike Tyson called him over and dapped him up.
I'm not going to get into. I'm not because you're doing this for schematics.
No, I'm just saying. I think it's a little. When you have material that could potentially be hurtful or harmful, you have to expect.
Oh, now it's hurtful or harmful. Now comedians have to be worried about hurtful or harmful. That's what you're saying now.
That's the day and age we in. That's the facts. It's sensitive times. I mean, the reality is, it's ways to be funny without personally attacking.
No, there's not.
There are ways to be funny without personally attacking.
It's all subjective. You decide. A random person in the audience gets to decide whether this joke is over the line. I may not think it's over the line at all.
So can I ask you guys something? Do you think that touching on something of a personal nature when it comes to a person's health or something that they don't have any control over? I'm not talking about the stuff that they was doing at the red table. I'm talking about health issues. Do you think as a comedian, and I'm asking y'all as professional comedians, do you think that that's, well, no, I'm just saying if anything, like any health or disorder that you have no control over, do you think that that's off limits about talking about or joking about as a professional comedian? That's a question.
Give me that one more time.
So as a professional comedian, do you think that anything involving like a health or disorder, do you think that that's off the limits, or do you think that that's crossing the line, including that in your jokes about somebody?
I'll say this. Like when I'm on stage and I see somebody in a wheelchair, in an effort to make them include them, I might make a joke about it. No, that's a fly ass chair. Okay, I see you, boy. What? Nigga, hey, I hope you ain't faking.
Yeah.
Get on, come on, man. Stop playing. Get up. Get out of here. Come on. Right? That joke is done in the effort to include in him a guy in the conversation that never gets included. I'm not trying to hurt him. I don't think Chris Rock was malicious at all.
I thought the joke was funny.
It was an ill-timed joke. He did a series of jokes. Like,
I think even with comedy,
if everybody decide I don't like that joke, I'm not going to slap your ass, and we get in line and start a line to slap Chris Rock. That's unacceptable. That's just unacceptable, guys. You don't get to put your hands on people in America.
Hey, Shawnee.
And you know what it is? This is the thing that irritates me. And this beside we doing some white people shit now. We doing some Karen white people shit now. Now we have turned into the people, like we've been influenced that we're going to take it this far where we're literally going to walk on stage and discipline people. Like, I don't know where y'all think this is going, but when Rodney says you're empowering an entire country now, especially when we're doing comedy clubs, it could happen there. But especially when we're doing other rooms that technically ain't comedy clubs, what's being the bar that's been set right now? Oh, watch out, because I can guarantee you right now, if a heckler heckles you and you say something, the first thing out their mouth is, don't make me have to Will Smith you. That's going to be the first thing out their mouth. That's going to be the first thing out their mouth. And at that point, as a comedian, you can either confront it and try and make a jokey joke about it, Or you can be like, ain't gonna be no Will Smith in this bitch.
So the question was, Rodney, how would you have handled that? You smacking shit? Chris Rock has smacked him back, Rodney? Or would you have smacked him back?
I can't say either way, man. I mean, I would like to believe I would defend myself, but who knows? I mean, you stand on the Oscar stage, you are at complete disadvantage. Your hands in your pockets. I mean, I know some violent dudes, right? And we all know cats that's really violent. And then you know those people that just not violent like that.
Mm.
So who's the bully? Is the violent guy the bully or the non-violent guy? That's typically not that guy. So I would like to believe at the very least I would have defended myself. But how about this? For the fellas, when we start open hand slapping dudes?
That was a pimp slap.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
It was an open hand.
Like a son. That was like
Listen,
a. That was like a son. Like a son.
He smacked him like a soap opera.
It was a WWE smack. And that's what they said. IG comments are hilarious.
All right, Shawn. Thank you, man.
Right. So, I mean, I don't know. I always err on the side of and I'm really trying to choose my words because, you know, when you're on this phone, you can't assume that Will Smith might not even see this. He may see this today. So, as a fan, I mean, I got Will Smith's book. The fucking book was incredible. The guy that authored this book don't do this.
But you can tell the energy. You can feel the energy. And I believe, I know Will Smith would have came up to me with that energy, I would have moved. I might not have anything back, but I would have moved. I wouldn't just stay there.
You gotta understand how the same perception we have of Will is the perception Chris Rock is thinking he's about to win an award. There's no way he's probably gonna say something. And knowing Will, I thought Will was gonna act like he was mad. Honestly, when he's walking up there, I thought he was gonna act like he was mad, and then he was gonna grab Chris and do the whole don't talk about my girl no more, or whatever. And Chris was gonna be like, all right, and then he's gonna sit back down. That's the Will Smith I thought was gonna happen. And I promise you, right now, Will Smith is sitting somewhere, and this is where I feel bad. He's sitting somewhere right now, regretting every moment, and he's going over it in his head, going, "Why would I do that?" Why did
we all?
Yes, and
haven't we all? We've all done something in our life, and we sat there from the back end and said, "I wish I wouldn't have done that. How did I get there?"
And I feel bad because the only reason why I even stayed up was to watch that man win.
Because I mean, have we found out if it was true that they told Chris stay away from the Jada jokes? Because is Chris somewhere sitting saying, "Well, you know, maybe I shouldn't have done that. I should have followed the protocol."
I mean, have they said that? Did they say that?
That's allegedly. I don't have a confirmed source on that, but allegedly it was said.
They probably
and that happened.
Had a worse
that they
joke.
say don't stay away from this because, like Mike said earlier, the night wasn't about Jada. Chris made it about Jada.
This is probably what happened. I don't know this for a fact, but they probably had a worse joke that they took out, and that was the concession, the G.I. Jane thing. Who knew that would be the thing to send them off in the tailspin? You know, because the other joke is a worse joke to me. The joke from 2016.
Mm-hmm.
But if you mad about 2016 and you sitting there in 2022, your ass need to be in the crazy house.
But did she have alopecia in 2016? Was that like something she's always been dealing with? Because that played a part too.
Who knew? I didn't know.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody.
I don't think the alopecia is the thing. It's like when we set up for these interviews, you know, and they send over, the rep sends us the stuff and it says, these are the questions you can ask. This is what we want you to stay away from. We know as journalists that, okay, they don't want to talk about this, but then as journalists, we are selfish sometimes and we want to push the envelope to try to get our ratings up or our viewers or our followers. Mm-hmm. We'll go ahead and cross that line. And that's where I am with Chris. It's not about his. Yeah, he was out there and he said that off the top of his head. We can tell that. But if you already got the memo, we get these memos. We know what we can say, what we're not supposed to say to these people. We know this.
Why would Jada be that important for them to prep Chris not to mention her?
Because it wasn't about her, and if they didn't want that, it's just like when an artist, when Janet Jackson comes to the studio, she don't want to talk about Joe. You know, they tell you, okay, don't talk about the daddy beating him. She don't want to talk about that. Stay away from it.
What you're saying is absolutely correct, right? And they'll come to when I was on the radio, my station say you don't ask. They'll come to you and say you don't ask. But when you go to the Breakfast Club, which is the Oscars, game changes.
Yeah, and that's why Birdman was on there talking about.
They're told that not. Yeah, they told the same damn thing.
Think about this. Birdman went to the studio, ain't lay hands on nobody, cause he knew better. Birdman knew not to put no hands on nobody, cause he knew better. So Birdman, the rapper, producer, record label owner, hood, street, gun-toting, drug-selling dude, followed better protocol than Will.
A tipping point has no protocol.
Maybe for me, maybe I just expect more out of Will Smith, and maybe I'm wrong for that.
No, I did touch on expectations. The difference between what we expect from our expectations.
I don't think you're wrong for that.
But you still expect Will to be a man and to protect his.
I'm not even saying that. I'm saying
he wasn't protecting her for anything.
I'm not even talking about protecting. I'm not talking about protecting. I'm talking about the tipping point of people, the threshold of people, what we might see as minute and not even like a big deal, where it may be the thing that sends a person over the edge. None of us know what's going through his mind. None of us know what he's going through. Again, you bring up the red table talk. He was prepped for that. So maybe that didn't break him. And we might say, oh my God, if anything broke him, that should have. But for somebody who is unprepared and things are just piling and piling and piling on you, it could be something as small as a grain of salt to tip you over the edge and make you break.
Not that this man would have ever been at the Oscars, but Will wouldn't have walked up on Phase on Love. Will could have snapped all he want, but he wouldn't have walked up on Phase.
But you never know when you in that protective mode. I mean, no matter how
you
big.
You ain't this protective thing. Like you act
I'm
like
being honest. When you snap, you ain't saying worrying about somebody's size.
Let me ask
I'm outside the club, Mike.
Is this the same as if somebody would have come into his home?
No,
like coming to somebody's home, of course, is violation. Is levels.
I
mean,
when we're talking about protection, though, and so as I'm processing that word protection.
Oh, that's a scary thing, because if I'm at a comedy club right now and I say something, if there's a lady wearing something crazy and I say something about what she has on and her man decides now she's going to do the J Black, I must protect.
It's something deeper and more emotional with why she has that on, because she's battling this or going through that and it's like.
Why is it so deep, y'all? Why can't it just be Will snapped?
That is the only point I made.
Because there are ramifications, but there's ramifications to this. Y'all don't do this. Y'all don't do this for a living.
Mike, I agree with you.
Yes, I think there's consequences to everything. Yes,
I don't think he snapped at all.
Jay's
I think he was doing damage control for the crib.
Yep.
Well, that's still snapping, right?
Is it snapping?
It is
snapping?
To a certain degree.
This is what you don't get to do in America. You don't get to snap.
But no, like you said, you use John, but you use John Q in the beginning. John Q snapped. Like you said, his wife gave him a look. Do something.
Yeah, off a joke. And this is my problem.
You don't get to snap.
But he didn't even look at her. He did.
I'm just saying he snapped. He did something.
Let's bring
You read the book, right? Will has been in way more dangerous situations than this. And because this situation wasn't dangerous. So something else was going on
Somebody
here.
said he wasn't protecting Jada. He was protecting his male ego.
Yeah, I could go with that.
That's disrespectful.
So there's another
I could go with that.
comedian and friend to the room, D. Lee. Join. Can he? Yeah, you turn it sideways, D. Lee.
Turn your phone sideways.
He don't know how to use technology.
I see.
But
Can you hear us? Oh, he's trying to do it.
No,
It's a delay though.
I can't make fun of D Lee until I started doing this show with Shawnee and Shawnee telling me what to do. I ain't know what the hell to do. I ain't know what button to press. I ain't know what a stream yard or a backyard or a front yard was. I ain't know how to zoom in or zoom out. Will Smith was emasculated entanglement syndrome.
Mr. Castle.
Really,
Mr. Castle.
Listen. I've been saying this from the door.
Wait a minute, we gonna quote Kevin Samuels. Come on.
And Mar, when you said they're in an open relationship, Will Smith just got done saying in an interview, neither one of them were cheating. He has never admitted to the swinger aspect ever.
No. Read the
and
book.
I don't think he will.
No,
I didn't read the book.
I don't think he read the book.
Roddy said he read the book. I read the book. He said Jada has never wanted to put those kind of traditional boundaries around their marriage.
Yeah, that was their understanding. So cheating deals with the understanding between two men and women. Yes, whatever your rules of engagement are, that's how you define cheating.
So this is the thing. Jada's the one who set those boundaries. They set them
together.
That's amazing.
It's agreement.
D-Lee, can you hear us?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Right, can you turn the phone sideways?
Can you turn the phone sideways?
There you go.
There we go.
My bad.
There we go.
Look, me and Rodney in our 50s, we don't know how to do this.
No, I'm in my 50s too.
Rodney came through right though.
That's because Rodney got a background.
It might be a life thing.
Rodney has editing equipment right behind that background. Like he's got a whole studio. Like he is the Steven Spielberg of comedians right now. All right, so D, your opinion on what took place, how you feel about it, your view.
Bottom line, I believe that as much as I love Will and I've seen him in certain situations, he was wrong on this one. He was absolutely wrong on this situation, my opinion, because of the fact that everybody keep going back to when Chris hosted the Oscars before. You can't even go back to that because that was nothing. You know what I mean? That joke was nothing. It was hilarious, but it was nothing. And then last night, the same thing. The thing is, Regina Hall made a joke on the red carpet about Jada and Will and August, the young boy August. And then all of a sudden, now you actually get into the live taping. And when Chris opened up the joke, he said, "Hey, I love you." You know what I mean? He said it. He didn't say it in malice. He didn't say it to cut throat or to hurt her. And even I think when Will was walking on the stage, I really think Chris thought, he's just going to do something wild. He wasn't expecting a smack. And now I think just for that to be Will Packard's opportunity, for Will's opportunity to actually receive the award for receive an Oscar for King Richard. And then now this is the black eye on top of it. Come on now, we comics, we joke. You sure you think Rodney ain't had jokes about his health condition? You know what I mean? He didn't have jokes. You know what I mean? You got to turn it into something. But I guarantee you, Chris wasn't even thinking that way. And then all of a sudden, I think, Mike, you said it earlier, Will was laughing at that joke. I don't care what you say. And then Jada had that look. And it was like, oh, okay, let me go approach this. And that was the wrong place and the wrong time, especially in the conditions that we're in. And all that, oh, but we need to be together. We need to be as black people. I agree with you 100%, sis. But the fact of the matter is right there when we on them stages also, we still got to stand our ground. We got to prove our point. And he could have pulled him to the side. And that's why Denzel pulled him to the side and said, yo, bruh. He basically said this wasn't the time to do it. You know, you pull that man in the backstage to say something to him. You pull him aside. You go knuckle up in the bathroom. You don't put it on blast in front of everybody. And that's what happened, man.
So you agree that what Rodney's saying, that is Jada's fault? Jada is all her fault?
I do believe your wife knows your trigger. And I believe your wife, I'm married. My wife knows what my trigger is. But we've been having this conversation and she even said it, babe, I could see you reacting. I said, yeah, I would have reacted, but not right there. I'd have waited till they went to break and said, hey, man, let me holler at you real quick. You know what I mean? And took him to the side. And that's when it ain't on public display, you know? And that's the thing. That was on public display. And yeah, because it's Will Smith. Well, I mean, look at it. CNN made it breaking news. Forget about the war. This is breaking news. Yeah. You know what I mean? This is breaking news. you know, one black man smacked another black man at the Oscars. That's basically what happened.
You think it wasn't breaking news, D?
I think it's breaking news because it was Will Smith on Chris Rock.
But D, you don't see how that could have been a buildup? Because I mean, y'all keep giving the whole story of, well, when they got there, this happened, and then they said this to Will and Jada, and then this was said, and then that said. You don't see how that could have been a buildup, and
she was hijacking the night all night.
Right. It's easy for us to say. It's easy for us to say what we wouldn't do. It's easy for us.
No,
to say
and I agree with you.
But D, what size shoe you wear? D, what size shoe you wear?
9.5, 10.
And if I put my foot in your 9.5, it's hard for me to feel that. So
correct.
We don't walk in each other's shoes.
No, and I agree with you on that. But we got to put a but on there. The fact of the matter is, you saying the build up could have been on the red carpet. They talked about the most. Look, she put him on blast, and I love Will and Jada personally, but Jada put their business out there in the street like that. After, you know, she turned that fire up, and then he had to, even in the book, Will didn't really directly address their issue.
He addressed it.
You know, no, not directly though. He didn't talk about. Nah, he didn't talk about
never
August.
wanted to traditionally have a traditional marriage. He didn't talk about August.
That's
right. Well, that's direct. Well,
That's what I'm
Mar,
saying,
that would be direct.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. So Jada never wanted to be on lockdown, so to speak. You know what I mean? But the bottom line is she brought that. I think one of y'all brought up the red table. Look what happened at the red table. That was the time to say something. If you're gonna go in, go in. You're gonna go in on Chris Rock, who we all know is frail. Chris ain't a fighter. Chris ain't a gangster.
But we all in media and we know the red table.
What did Charlamagne say? He said, "Why you go after the radio guy?"
Yeah, why you go after the comedian?
If that was Eddie, he wouldn't have went after Eddie.
Oh yeah, that's a good example. He would not have gone after Eddie. If Eddie was standing right there at that podium, Eddie Murphy, he would not have walked up there and smacked Eddie Murphy.
He wouldn't have went after Charlie.
But we don't know that. We don't know that.
Oh, we know that.
You don't know that. When a person
gets
to their limit, when a person gets to their limit, they don't care.
Don't matter who.
That is all I'm saying.
I bet money he evaluated who he was walking up on.
Believe that.
Every man, if you know, he decided to slap him before he got out the seat. So he got 20 steps.
Mm-hmm.
He had 20 steps to follow through with this decision. You think he wasn't thinking about the whole time, Shani?
Yep.
No, because when you get to that point and you're at your breaking point, it don't matter who it is.
Hold on.
I've watched it for over 20 years.
Let me just say this. This goes out to all and say it the way you want. Cowards in the world. People snap, but they never seem to snap on Mike Tyson.
Say that again.
People snap, but they never seem to snap and lose their mind on 50.
Say that again.
People never snap on Shaq. They never snap on Ray Lewis. They never snap. It's funny. They never snap on somebody who's dangerous. They always seem to lose their mind on a wife, a girlfriend, or somebody who you're 6'3", 225. And a dude that's 5'7", at best 160 pounds.
He might be 5'10", 5'9", 5'10".
Well, the only one that I heard that you said that has openly been disrespectful to people is 50 Cent. When has Mike Tyson stood up there and been disrespectful to somebody?
His whole life.
Somebody to the edge.
Whole life.
I mean, outside of the match. When has Mike Tyson got on his podcast and said Will and Jada crazy?
Well, this is the new mic you talking about.
Right. This is the high mic.
My point is, if y'all don't think he evaluated the situation, said, I wish I would just let this little motherfucker talk more shit.
Right.
That's what he said. I wish I would let this little motherfucker keep talking shit.
Factually, God rest his soul, if it was Charlie Murphy, he wouldn't have thought twice about going up there. It wouldn't have been a thought.
He wouldn't even have done it. He wouldn't have done it to somebody who he thought was affiliated in LA. He wouldn't have gone up there to somebody. Okay, once again, these comedians would never host, would never be at the Oscars. Neither would I. Like TK Kirkland. He's not going to go up and just smack TK.
He ain't going to go up there and smack Tony Rock.
No, he's not. That's the first thing I was thinking was the person that needed to be there was Tony Rock.
Yup. It would have went down.
Anyway,
y'all got a lot of people upset that y'all trying to blame Jada. That's all. A lot of people saying there's accountability for Will's actions, so stop trying to blame Jada.
You said we didn't blame her. She said she had something.
I blame Jada.
Rodney
blaming Jada. And I think what Rodney is saying
he said,
is that she kept putting the gas on it. She did put the gas on it.
How did she put the gas on it? Because she made a natural expression that she would have made, that anybody would have made if it's like, okay, we done already talked about this. You ain't even supposed to be talking about me. That's the face she gave. She didn't say,
wait,
go up there.
You keep saying we done talked about this. What do you mean? Her and Chris ain't had no conversation about that.
She's talking about the team prepping. She's talking about the advanced prep.
I don't even know that
there wasn't no prepping. That
you telling me there's no prepping for the Oscars?
No,
Are you serious?
No.
I'm sure Chris Rock did some
prep. I'm not telling you that. What I'm telling you is, as a writer also, and as a ghostwriter for some of these events, the fact that particular bit was not submitted. Hey, I'm going to say this. And I will almost bet that if that was submitted, whoever reviewed it, the writers did not look at it as, oh, he's talking about Jada's medical condition.
That's not what I'm talking about, though, D. We can tell that joke wasn't written before because he's just ad-libbing or doing whatever y'all do up there.
Right.
But you get the list.
Joke.
You get the list that says these are the things to stay away from.
These are the parameters that you don't touch.
I don't think nobody got a list.
No, that joke was not ad-lib. That joke was vetted.
Oh, you thought it was vetted? Okay.
Absolutely.
So, but let me ask you.
And it was vetted. It was cleared.
If it was vetted, you don't think it was vetted though, with the thought of, oh, she has this particular medical condition?
Hell no. What nobody think about them alopecia?
Right.
When did alopecia become a hot disease?
Right. So,
Rodney.
Right.
When it affects a man's wife.
Rodney.
Rodney.
Women have that.
Little daughter got alopecia. She gets some lotion.
Rodney.
No,
that's eczema. That is eczema, Rodney.
You better be careful, Rodney.
Hold on, y'all.
I'm trying to explain how much I know about it.
Yeah. I got alopecia. Ain't nobody doing a fundraiser for alopecia. Like,
Rodney.
Your alopecia is not. Come to the beauty shop.
Oh, you want to see my alopecia? No, do you want to see my alopecia?
You got a head full of beautiful hair.
Do you want to see my alopecia?
You have
I already broke that down to you earlier in the show.
I need
Mike, your alopecia is
not
not the same as some of these women.
Dog, you don't even
have
understand.
A patch here, a patch there, and it's no.
But I think that we're trying to simplify this when we're trying to break down the whys against the why nots. It's not really about that. I keep trying to tell you, when you are in that state of mind, and I've seen it for over 20 years, from kids to adults, it's not an excuse.
Yes, it is.
Again, it's not an excuse.
Yes, it is.
I am not justifying his behavior. I'm not saying that
if he spazzed out the way you said he was spazzing and he lost his mind, he would have walked out. Him and Jada would have walked the hell out. But he was clear enough.
That's not true.
Hold on.
That's not true.
He was clear enough to know we're going to sit our ass down and get this award.
That's not true. I've watched somebody walk across the room, take something and hit another kid across the head, and say, shut up. A teen that I've watched from young to 21. Young to 21 do some of the same similar behaviors. So let's take age out of behavior. Take age out of behavior. When you're in a crisis mode or a mode where you have lost it, there is no age to that. You do understand that, right? There is no age to that. Go ahead.
Have y'all talked about this? Is Will's first Oscar, right?
But he's been there 4 times.
But it's his first Oscar win, right?
And how about this, big dog? This is the first time he wasn't really trying like that, overdoing the role. It was a great role for him. He did an amazing job as King Richard.
Yeah, I mean, but I was going to ask, could this possibly been a form of self-sabotage?
Wow.
You want me to dig deep?
Now
You
going deep into.
No, do you want me to dig deep? Because I said before you jumped on about unstabilized trauma and how it affects Black men.
And we
talked about this last week.
I'll give you one more. I'm going to add one more. And this is just speculation. What if he was so sick of Jada and her shit, he was like, okay, I'm going to take care of this.
This about Jada.
No, can you just let me bar? but listen. What if he was like, because I've done it with my wife. I've done it. I'll go like, oh, you want me to take care of it? Fuck it. Today, I'm going to take care. I'm going to stop all of it today. Because, dog, that self-sabotage thing is almost like proven. Like, you keep saying, I'm not speaking up. You keep calling me the soft Hollywood star. Speculation now. You keep telling me that I'm the person who eats all the shit. I'm the person who never responds. I'm the person who wants to be nice to everybody. Okay, tonight, I'm going to Tupac the situation. Tonight, I'm going to be the dude that you love so damn much that you write letters and poetry every anniversary of his death, every anniversary of his birthday. Today, I'm going to Tupac the situation. Unfortunately, when he did the speech, he had to revert back to being who he really is, which, in my opinion, he truly is a nice person. I think when he realized what he just did, that really messed him up even more. That I really went so far out my character. Not that I'm not capable. We all know Will's down to fight. But I think when he had to do that speech, that's why the speech became a mess. He really just wanted to apologize, in my opinion. He just really wanted to say sorry to Chris.
Does he apologize today? Yes or no?
He apologized, didn't he?
No.
Has he apologized to Chris? I don't think he apologized to Chris.
Yeah.
I think he wanted to. I think legit he wanted to.
He was processing it. You saw him thinking.
So? Yup. I think he really wanted to.
You didn't see the speech? I think we got a little piece of it, Shawn.
And that was the other shameful part of it. Like I said, the biggest moment of his life. Look, if there's one thing Will can do is get in front of that microphone and make you feel every word that's coming out of his mouth. And last night was supposed to be the night that he gave us the most moving speech of his life. And the poor guy just rambled and they had to cut away from him like 3 times. I felt bad for him. Mike's wife is not at home, I assume. I am the boss as well. When she ain't, I didn't yell I was the boss. When did I yell I was the boss?
I think he's just saying that. I think he's just saying that.
Oh, I ain't never yelled I was the boss. But to go where all the other guys have gone who are married, it takes a lot for me to go out in these streets and fight somebody. But
if somebody disrespectful.
But what I'm saying is, if Stacey wants me to, she's the one person who can. And she ain't got to tell me to do it. She can just tell me how she felt about something. We could be at a get together, at a little dinner, and whatever, and people saying whatever, and she'd be like, "Can't believe so says something," and drink her little drink. And she already knows she already know what it is. Party's over. Win or lose the fight. Party's all over now.
I guess they want to hear the speech.
They want to hear the speech.
Well, hear the speech.
So I guess you could just do the first part, maybe.
Well, the first part kind of boring. Let's do the second part when he talks to Denzel, because the first part is just him starting out. Let's see. This is the second part.
I'm being called on in my life to love people and to protect people and to be a river to my people. And I know to do what we do, you got to be able to take abuse. You got to be able to have people talk crazy about you. In this business, you got to be able to have people disrespecting you. And you got to smile and you got to pretend like that's okay. But Richard Williams, and what I loved, thank you, D. Denzel said to me a few minutes ago, he said, at your highest moment, be careful, that's when the devil comes for you.
Amen. Amen. Class act.
What he didn't say, the devil live in your house.
That man cracked. That man cracked. You see it all over his face.
Damn you.
That man cracked.
Wow.
Yeah.
He said the devil is
Now
when he's doing the speech, I went from being totally pissed off to him to like, dog, what is going on?
You felt this. You felt
He cracked.
Yeah, because I'm like, that's what made me go. This ain't got nothing to do with the joke.
It's bigger than that. That was the
But
straw that broke the camel's back.
But what I'm saying is it's not even the straw. This was gonna happen whether it happened at the Oscars, after the Oscars. It was happening somewhere. So this thing about Chris Rock crossing the line, it had nothing to do with that joke.
You saying they had an argument?
Let me take y'all to yesterday. Let me take y'all back yesterday at about 3:00 in the afternoon. They still at the crib. Jada ain't dressed.
Here it get on my nerves. You get on my nerves, birthday twin.
You know we got to go to the Oscars tonight. I don't want to go to your fucking Oscars.
You get on my nerves.
Will you go to the Oscars by your fucking self, bitch? Jada, please, baby. I can't go without you. I need you there. Blah, blah. I got some speech ready. Everything. You think you'll win, don't you, motherfucker?
Did you see the post that they put up?
What was the post?
The post they put up was them getting dressed and taking pictures for the Oscars. Mm-hmm. And it said that the caption was getting dressed for chaos.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because they know when they hit that red carpet that people was gonna be on it. They are the butt of all of the jokes.
But if you are introducing your public life to, okay, great example, not putting you on a block, Mike, but when Mike let people know, hey, this is what I'm going through, you think somebody didn't sneak in his DM or maybe a social media comment and tried to bash him or whatever? The bottom line is when you open up for that public situation and you say we do X, Y, and Z, or we've done X, Y, and Z, they planning on it. Expect it to come.
Yeah, but that's different when it's the outside, when it's just the fans. But I know Mike, and then I'm gonna bash Mike. We at an event and I'm gonna get up there and bash him.
Hey, like I said, you think ain't nobody got jokes ready for Mike?
Of course.
Y'all not gonna tell jokes on Mike.
No, I'm not.
We know it ain't coming from. It ain't coming from cutting. Nobody gonna go deep. Shoot, everybody,
but
man.
You know if that. But I think if you know that the situation is sensitive, that you knowing Mike, you being a person that's in that same space, you're not gonna do that.
You just fell into my trap, and this is my trap. Knowing that the situation is sensitive, when Chris made that joke, he wasn't talking about her medical condition. He was just talking about the simple haircut and G.I. Jane.
Sometimes it's not the intent of the message that you send out. It's how it's received by the person. And so I think that's where the emotion came. That's where the emotion came from.
Everybody in that theater bursted out in laughter, including Will, until he got this.
Rolling it out.
I mean, was it a real laugh though? No. Was it the ha ha ha? I'm gonna laugh this off.
But
once
That man cracked.
Yeah, I saw cracking. I feel like that's what I saw.
I'll go with that.
He cracked because the man's been under the shadow of Tupac the entire. All
right, Rodney, appreciate you.
All right, Rodney, love you. I'll go with that.
He's been under the shadow of Tupac the entire relationship, dog.
Listen.
The entire relationship, dog. And my wife is not going to write a poem every birthday of another man.
Right.
It's not going to happen.
Will Smith has ascended to levels not seen by many men. Forget Tupac in this situation. Like, real talk. He is literally under all kinds of pressure that we all cannot really fathom. And this is his moment where he cracked. I think self-sabotage is a real thing here.
Right. I'd agree.
I think that's the one angle that I didn't even think about, and I'm very familiar with self-sabotage.
Well, Shawnee, Mo kind of said it, right? She's talking about the mental. She didn't use that language, but that's what it is.
I didn't want to go dive that deep in this conversation or whatever. I wanted to keep it surface level, but yes, it is a real thing, and I talk about it all the time when I do these mental health forums about unstabilized trauma and what that looks like, and we're walking around with it, especially in our Black men, walking around with it and don't know what that's going to manifest into. It manifests itself in so many ways in our lives. And you laughing, Mike. See, that's why I don't
No,
break.
no. I'm
I think he's laughing with agreement.
I'm a motherfucking therapist.
No. I'm sorry, because that was no, that was rude.
Sound like that thing from Sesame Street.
No. Put that comment back up. I gotta explain.
With the jokes.
Put that. She just act like that because she got the sexy wig on. Listen, Sequisa.
Wow.
That's why
Oh,
she
you
acted
blaming
like
it on Sequisa?
Wow.
Sequisa said, no. Sequisa said, actually, Jada had Willow write Tupac a letter. I'm just saying.
That's even
And
worse.
that's when I cracked
That's
up.
more
I'm sorry,
insulting.
Mo.
Yeah, that's even worse.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
insulting.
y'all, come on now.
That's
with
more
this
insulting.
type of-
Shawnee, you're not
You
going to
don't
defend
think
that. You're going to
you
defend
don't
that?
think that is because some of that stuff that Will and Jada, some of the things they do. So y'all don't think that they sit down and have these meetings and say, okay, we're going to do this and we're going to do this.
I
and then
think
you're gonna say
sometimes they
that.
do, and I think sometimes we think that they premeditate stuff that just happens just like in a regular relationship because they wasn't premeditating August Alsina. But Mo, go ahead. Go finish with your thought because I wasn't laughing at you. I really wasn't.
What they put together to cover up.
Yeah, they put together the cover up.
They had to put the makeup on.
If they were the happy couple with nothing going on, we wouldn't be talking about them. They would not be as entertaining. We wouldn't be interested in it. But we all fall down a little rabbit hole and get caught in they stuff. Because even I'd be like, I'm sick of them. I don't want to hear nothing else about them. But then I'm reading.
Well,
but I think the whole the August Alsina thing, that just shined a light on what their commitment level and what their how they see their relationship playing out. They had already agreed before we were privy to it. They already agreed how they wanted their relationship to go.
So why
they
was
already
Will,
had
why
agreed
was
how they
Will
want to
crying?
raise their kids. What I'm saying is they agreed. They have already agreed. We wasn't supposed to be a part of that agreement. We weren't supposed to be privy to how they got their marriage set up.
Right.
To the public eye, they want everybody to look at it like, no, we're just a normal couple. But in order to make this work, this is what we got to do behind the scenes. This is how it got to be behind the scenes. In order for this marriage to work, that means that look, I need some extra stuff going on. And they agree to that.
Okay, so we're gonna be okay. So what we're gonna have to decide then? Did Will really cry last night? Was that real crying or was that him acting again?
Was that PR?
I think those were real tears at the
those
red
were
table.
real tears.
At the
Oh,
red
those were real
table,
tears.
I don't agree with them tears because
those
listen,
are fake tears at the red table.
They were because if Stacey set you down, if me and you in a relationship and I sit you down at the table on camera live and I say, Mike, I've been screwing the milkman.
But he already knew. The
Are
dude
you
spent the
gonna
night at that crib.
You gonna
He
be
was
like,
in the crib.
And listen, this is the manipulation. I'm worth like $300 million. And you really think I'm going to sit at a table and explain to the world why you were smashing a 27-year-old R&B star? No.
Who we haven't heard from since then.
Who we haven't heard from since then. But unless the person I'm with,
I think he signed some shit, D. Lee. I think he signed some shit and it went away.
Yes,
Go ahead.
And along with himself.
The only way one of the biggest stars in Hollywood is getting conned into doing that if somebody got you under their thumb that crazy. And that's the same person who gave him the look at the Oscars that set the man off to damn near ruin. I'm not gonna say ruin his career because he's not gonna ruin his career.
He makes too much money.
But to ruin that night. That's the same person that got me to sit in front of everybody in the world and watch you tell me you had an entanglement with a young man.
And that's a white PR person's word. Believe
I was gonna say that was scripted.
Oh yeah,
that was a damage control word.
Wasn't no homies coming up and going.
This was a little entanglement. We're just gonna call it entanglement, guys.
And that's when Jada gave him the let's fuck the night up look. Let's fuck this whole entire night.
Let's take it there.
Because now the poor man's biggest accomplishment in his entire career is gone.
Well, no. Oh, you mean his biggest accomplishment?
Yeah, his biggest accomplishment is not going to be recognized as what it should have been. Once again, the only
they're talking about taking it away.
Yeah, they talking about taking it away from him.
Taking what? The Oscar away?
Yeah, like it was an NBA championship.
And guess what? Guess what? If they did that,
because everybody signs. You sign when you go. It's just like anything else. It's a whole thing of how you give perception of self and everything. And that's what happened. They're saying he did not represent as contracted, and now boom. So we're thinking about taking it away.
I was thinking when it happened, I was thinking they was gonna pull it immediately and switch it up immediately.
I said to my wife, I said they can't change who the winner is, right? They can't change the outcome at this point.
Oh, they can do whatever they want. It's their award.
Yeah,
and
they
how about
didn't because they wanted those ratings. So screw them.
Right.
I mean,
And
we're
now
not
you gonna try
clear,
to take it away from them. That's why I be saying we depend on their approval too much. King Richard, if he won an Oscar,
wait a minute,
that is an
Sean, let me give you
amazing
this.
movie.
Let me
That's
give
an
you this.
amazing movie.
I
He
agree
did an
with- I agree
amazing
with you.
job with it. Period. If he got an
agree with
Oscar or
you.
not.
I agree with you, but this is the problem. Now you didn't open that can. Is that the fact that we do depend on them too much? But the fact of the matter is we can't get enough of us to join together and do one big Oprah network. You see what I'm saying? Or one big film foundation or one big, we got enough celebrities, black celebrities, not even celebrities, but black millionaires, billionaires to create our own black Hollywood. But we don't do that because we still believe that they control the narrative.
And
Shawnee says this all the time.
I just read yesterday that the Black News Network has to shut down because they don't have enough money to pay their staff to keep it
There's
going.
no sponsors.
There's no,
They filed they filed bankruptcy. I covered it Friday. They ran out of money.
And who the hell? We wasn't watching.
Shad.
We was too busy watching the Shade Room. And you know what I'm saying? Who cares about the news? Son?
But no, this is the problem though. The problem with that is a lot of us did not know about the Black News Network.
Yeah, and the question is the Black News Network actually black? So that's the other question.
Well,
and my question is this:
100% black, you mean?
Even majority share. So Shad Khan, the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, invested over $50 million into it. And so he just got tired and said, I'm pulling the plug. I'm not spending no more money.
Have any of you watched the Black News Network?
I don't even know the channel.
I never watched it. I heard about it once, and then I didn't see anything else on it.
It was bad. It wasn't good.
You saw it, Jay?
It wasn't quality TV.
The quality was like black porn, wasn't it?
But see, that's what I'm saying. And then when they had these campaigns,
You know the difference between black porn and white porn. You walk into back in the day, we used to get our DVDs. All right, I'm putting my age out there. Back in the day, we used to get our DVDs. You could look at the white porn box and be like, "Yo, this is going to be dope." You look at the black porn box; it was just like a photo of like a Kodak picture slapped on there. You'd be like, I'm gonna get this. She got a big ass. You know what I mean? But other than that, it was like there was nothing put into the Black News Network on the serious side.
Let's keep it real, y'all.
There's no money put into it, but that falls back on us. We don't support us
because we didn't know about it.
Yeah, but
Secretion just said we had our old news network.
I mean, I heard about it. I heard about it a couple years ago, but I never saw anything.
But you
else
never saw any big promo behind it.
It's only been on air for 2 years.
Right,
So,
there wasn't no big promotion behind it.
It wasn't. It was a lot of things wrong.
Come on.
All the programming wasn't great.
More
Promo
people watched
was
the
lacking.
Shannon Sharp network than they did the Shannon Sharp show than they did the Black News Network.
Yeah, I mean that's the struggle here with Media Room 360. It's black owned 100%. It's me. I started it with my money. I ain't get no loan.
Right.
I paid for all this, but then trying to get people to sponsor is hard. Because they like, oh well, how many followers you got? Listen, this is real. I'm not selling you no dream. It's real. It's here. I laid the foundation. I just need the brick and mortar to build it all the way up.
How much you need?
I need 150 today.
Kamari, oh wait a minute, Kamari, not
100,000.
D was about to write a check.
D was about to write a check.
I was like, all right, you really got that.
No, I knew she was saying 150,000, but
I mean, but that's what I need. If 150,000,
but for us to raise,
it's one thing that I'm missing. Pluto, Tubi, they all started the same way I started.
Right.
They all started the same way. It's one thing they have that I don't have that I figured out how to get. But I need $150,000 to get it, and once I get that, that will change the game. I'm not saying that here. Oh no, we're not giving that game
behind the scenes. That's we ain't giving every game out.
Y'all better stop talking like this is the red table. We ain't talking all that shit, right?
I hear that, Mike. But the reality is, 150,000 is not a lot of money to raise, and we need to sit down and talk, Shawnee.
Okay, then
I'm dead. Excuse me, I'm dead ass.
I am too.
150 is not enough to raise. Especially if you got a plan.
Everybody
sitting on this panel can get together. We could do something and raise 150,000. That's
definitely have
networks.
Nothing.
But like she just said, it's trying to get us to get involved to make it happen.
Why you call my name? I ain't got 150.
No, I'm but
Kamari,
There's no way that this show alone, this topic this morning was part of something that you should hear on a national radio level every day. Just say separate all the other. This particular show alone, this topic alone carried. You see what I'm saying? And imagine if it was on a national radio network. It's no reason it shouldn't be. And that's giving Mike and all of y'all your props. That's real talk.
And that's why I think all of us have been on. Everybody on here has been.
And we just celebrated our year doing
traditional radio.
It just was a year.
Yes, a year. Yeah,
we need to wrap. It need to be an end game in this tunnel. This show has got. I mean, y'all see me. I click in when I can, but it's because it's interesting. Yeah, I mean, there's no way it shouldn't be.
And I'm glad this topic did carry because I was because it's 9:40. Yeah,
it's time to go. Look, we supposed to talk about the kid on the roller coaster. We got to get in that.
But we dug deep. We really hit on respectability politics when you talking about trauma and the Black community too.
Black love.
Kamari, I appreciate you even bringing that point up. I think
I always got to try to bring some sanity.
Yes, thank you.
Nobody need your sanity. We doing just fine in this nut house.
Come on. Got to bring sanity to the room.
Come on.
No, it's Mar. It's Mar.
No, but you call him Kamal to start. That's why he said that.
My black porn name is going to be Kamal now.
Kamal. Mari.
I can market that with
Mike
sex
always
toys and the
boys.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Mike, he shortened people's names.
Dino, I always shorten people's names.
I've never been called D. Lee. It's always been D. Ever. I signed the check for him. It's thanks, D. Wait, nigga, it says D. Lee on the check.
Thanks, D. Appreciate you.
D. Love you, D. I don't even think it's the D-E-E. I think it's just the letter.
I think it's the letter D. Like, honestly, Paul, it's the letter D.
I don't even get the full D.
The E-E is so unnecessary. Like, capital D.
You say they know who they talking about.
They know exactly who he's talking about. Founder of the Laugh House, they know D. They got it.
All seriousness, guys, I really believe, and I've said this in the background to other people, that this show has so many legs that it could run on. I just think it's something, like you said, Shawnee, to get it out to the world. And I don't know what your goal is in the very end, but I believe 150,000 is nothing to raise, put together, to make happen. And I think if everybody, especially on this show right here, put their minds together. Mike has done it. Jay, you've been a part of it. Kamari, you know what I can do. It's like, hey guys, I mean, and taking nothing away from the ladies, but 150 can be raised easily.
Yeah, that's the goal for the next 6 months.
Well, Shawnee, y'all need to have a conversation. You and D need to have a conversation.
I'm all for it.
Yeah, because Shawnee's definitely number one. She's a hard worker, and she has really created this platform. So when she gets passionate about people ass kissing the Oscars, she doesn't say it as a person who doesn't take her own advice.
Right.
Like she's taking her own advice and not falling prey to just being a part of another bigger conglomerate or whatever. She's really created her own platform. That's why I was bugging when she told me, yeah, put your TV on. The first time she told me it's on TV. And I was like, yeah, right, it's on TV.
Roku.
It ain't on TV. This ain't number the Black News Network. It ain't on TV right now. And when I turned it on, I was like, yo, it's actually programming here. All right, y'all. This has been interesting. I mean, nobody will ever hear this because of the ending of the show. We all love Will Smith.
Yes.
And we all want this man to be the giant that he's always been. And it was just a very, very unfortunate incident. I feel bad, super bad for Chris Rock, because I know he didn't mean that. Hopefully these two will have a conversation.
Diddy just posted that they did. They resolved it later that night. Diddy just I saw that posted.
The mayor has spoken, huh? Mayor Diddy has spoken.
Shout out to Woke Up Inspired. Y'all see Will's new gear?
Yes, I did. I did.
Wait. Shawnee, do not applaud that exploitation. Don't applaud that exploitation.
I saw that.
That is straight exploitation.
I got to shout out to my other fellow Black sister, business owner. Shout out to WokeUpInspired.com.
Yes.
So Woke Up Inspired. You can get your very own Boundaries Matter t-shirt too. Just log on to WokeUpInspired.com today. Black on
That's right.
Did you see the other commercial they got? They literally photoshopped Rodney King as he's getting beat, and it said boundaries matter. I said, what are we doing?
I hate everybody this morning.
What are we doing? Why would you do that?
That's because black Instagram, black social media has no chill button.
All right, you know.
Man, that was funny. That was funny. But Shawnee, let's do this. Get with Camari. Let's make this happen.
Okay.
Let's make this happen. Blow up the show.
Thank you for joining us. Rodney Perry.
Thank y'all.
Thank you for joining us.
At some point, we gotta have D-Lee back when we do the whole Wendy Williams topic, and we can talk about the history of how you doing. On because we had him on a year ago, but now it's time. So we need to set up a date. D, that's good for you right now. What day?
Why?
Because people always ask about it.
Yes. This is who started. How you doing?
This is D. Yes, he's the one that started.
How you doing?
Everybody don't know, D. Let's make sure that they all know you get.
You know what the problem is? And Camari just said this to me yesterday, actually. And my wife says it, and Dave says, Dave Anderson, everybody says
the business bully.
I am such the background, laid back dude that I don't. What my wife calls it humble.
Except for when it's on stage.
Except for when I'm on stage. But other than that, I'm so in that just helping people succeed and be a part of that success. But you don't have to acknowledge me in the success. Does that make sense?
You are such a humble soul.
No. Hold on. It makes sense. But when the meltdown happened, he did have a little smirk on his face. There's a little. I ain't saying he smiled.
Right.
I'm saying he smirked a little bit. His wife, what you smirking at? Nothing, babe. Nothing. I'm gonna go cut the grass. All right, y'all. We'll see y'all tomorrow morning. Thanks to everybody supporting everybody on Media Room 360. Everybody was on the IG Live. IG shut it down. I don't know what's wrong with my IG now. As we close, love me for who I am, not who you want me to be, because I can never be that and understand there's only one thing in life that's guaranteed. It will end. So enjoy every minute, every second, and understand you fight for everything in life. Parking spots, the big piece of chicken. Fight for your happiness.
Your wife's sanity too.
And your wife's sanity. Fight for your happiness and never let anybody take that from you. It's Michael Shawn and the Takeover Legends. We will see you tomorrow morning. Yeah, y'all.
Michael Shawn and the Takeover Legends, where the truth hurts, but also makes you laugh.
Baby, tap in.